Chapter 849. Chapter 849. Go to spiritual volcano, Wang Mingyu, should be the last batch. When they attained the Transcendent Realm's second level, they had to leave the opportunity to other newcomers. By that time, the baptism of spiritual volcano would not be efficacious on them. It would be better to leave the opportunity to newcomers so that the family could continue to produce new talents from generation to generation. Basically, the spiritual volcano only worked for newcomers below the Transcendent Realm third level. If this were not the case, it would have attracted many powerful forces to compete for it. The hot topic continued, and the day approaching spiritual volcano's eruption had finally arrived. Over the past countless years, the spiritual volcano would erupt punctually. Hence, no one was impatient with it as they waited for the approaching day of the eruption. Those who were qualified finally gathered at the pier. They would take a ship together to the spiritual volcano. Each occupied a different slot according to the ranking. Although they were all able to receive the spiritual volcano's baptism, their harvest would be different. Staying at different slots would receive different benefits. As the champion, Yi Shiwen was in the best slot. Then, the Wang family owned the latter 3 slots. Followed by that would be the 2 slots for Yuan family, then the 2 slots for Wu family. Finally, it would be the slots dedicated to the 2 winners among the individual cultivators. Although they occupied the inferior slots, they felt blessed to be qualified. Early in the morning, everyone from the Wang family arrived at the dock ahead of others. Since they won, everyone in the Wang family was naturally excited. They were late in the past, but they were the first to arrive this time. At the Wang family side, besides Yi Shiwen, there were Wang Mingyu, Wang Feiyun, and another young talent. Although they were not as good as Wang Feiyun, they had attained the Transcendent Realm first level. Their foundation was not solid. Hence they required the spiritual volcano's baptism. This was a shortcut that would save countless hours of hard work. Many Wang family's masters chattered delightfully. They had never felt so proud like this for 500 years. Sure enough, they were still aware that it was all Yi Ziwen's contribution. The Wang family members toned down their voices in respect when Yi Shiwen threw his glance over. Nevertheless, Yi Shiwen was unfazed by it. He only cared about the spiritual volcano baptism. With this spiritual volcano baptism, he would be able to attain half-step Transcendent Realm late. With that, he could start preparing for the Transcendent Realm retribution. He didn't dare to ascend into the Transcendent Realm in one fell swoop. Judging from the previous heaven's retribution, he knew that the heaven had seemingly found him not pleasing to its eyes. The catastrophe of stepping into Great Sage previously was already terrifying. Hence, he could not imagine how disastrous it would be to challenge the retribution of ascending to the Transcendent Realm. So he could only restrain himself and wait until he was fully prepared. It was best to challenge the retribution when he was certain that he could contend with it. He didn't want to die before the actual retribution started. But even so, his combat prowess would attain a great leap after the breakthrough to half-step Transcendent Realm late. Furthermore, he still had Star Beast's bloodline power remnants that were yet to be fully digested and absorbed. With that, he could quickly attain half-step Transcendent Realm late peak. After that, he could challenge the lightning retribution and attain the Transcendent Realm. Even Yi Shiwen himself would not know how strong he could be. Soon after the Wang family arrived, Yuan family's masters also arrived. In addition to Yuan Zuhai's slot this time, another slot was also given to an outstanding young talent in the Yuan family. This young talent stagnated in Transcendent Realm for a long time. With spiritual volcano's baptism, it would be easier for him to ascend into Transcendent Realm's second level. The arrival of the Yuan family did not arouse too much attention from the Wang family. After all, the Wang family was now the champion. It made more sense for others to pay close attention to them. Yi Shiwen only glanced at Yuan Xuehai and then withdrew his gaze. He continued to immerse himself in the mysterious space, deducing the meteor explosion technique. Seeing Yi Shiwen glance at him, Yuan Xuehai lowered his head and let it slip. He stopped paying attention. After all, he was a cold person. If it weren't for Yi Shiwen defeating him head-on, he would have no interest in caring. Although Yuan Xuehai was not interested, Everyone else in the Yuan family held a different attitude, mostly those Yuan family juniors. Not everyone saw Yi Shiwen previously. The battle that day ended soon. Initially, it was well known to be a contest which could last several days. Due to Yi Ziwen's presence, the contest period shortened terribly. Those who decided to go late were losing out. After all, they thought there was nothing in particular happening at the starting period. It felt like a scam while annoying at the same time. It was all over in such a short time. Is that Yi Shiwen? He doesn't seem that good. Why did Brother Xuehai lose? Yeah, besides Brother Xuehai, Wu Chenhai from the Wu family and Jia Qing, the foreign aide were all defeated by Yi Shiwen. This is inexplicable. Yeah, whose disciple do you think he will be? He is so young. God knows there are so many monstrous geniuses in this world. How could we identify every single one of them? Everyone in the Yuan family was in a heated argument. Since Yi Shiwen had been merciful to Yuan Xuehai previously, so they didn't have the same hatred level on Yi Shiwen as the Wu family. What came next was not the Wu family, but the two individual cultivators who got the slot. They came in delight. One was a black-clothed old man, and the other was a middle-aged man in formal attire. These two people came together. Sure enough, it was also an effective way to resist the coercion from the three prominent families. No matter what, they were minute in front of the three prominent families. It was an excellent way to protect themselves. Soon after the arrival of the two individual cultivators, Wu family finally arrived. This time, the Wu family had suffered a massive loss. Not only was Wu Chenhai crippled, but Yi Shiwen had also knocked out the foreign aide. Yi Shiwen was the leading cause of their damage. Everyone in the Wu family was gloomy and angry. Among them, Wu Chenhai and Jia Qing appeared. Although they were crippled, as Wu family's transcendent realm warriors, they had qualities beyond ordinary people. Besides, the Wu family had used many resources to recover their injury in such a short time. In other words, it would be these two people who would accept the spiritual volcano's baptism on behalf of the Wu family. Just like Wang Feiyun, despite Wu Chenhai crippling his hands, the injury now was not noticeable, seemingly fully recovered. After all, despite the spiritual volcano offering baptism, it was quite dangerous even for the warriors in their optimum state. Hence, going in while injured was equivalent to courting death. Everyone in Wu family looked at Yi Shiwen with killing intent. They did it so blatantly, without any slight of concealing it. In particular, both Jia Qing and Wu Chenhai wanted to skin Yi Shiwen alive. They lost too miserably under Yi Ziwen's hands. Yi Shiwen didn't care about these bitter gazes. Yi Shiwen, their eyes are full of murderous intent. I'm afraid they won't let it go. Yimo's voice suddenly appeared in Yi Ziwen's mind. Are you awake? Yi Shiwen asked. Previously, Yimo was in a deep sleep to absorb the blood essence of the Transcendent Realm 3rd level City Guard Captain 1. He only woke up once when Yi Shiwen was under pursuit. This was the second time he went awake since then. Have you completely absorbed it? Yep, I have completely absorbed it, Yimo said with a smile. But speaking of them, the killing intent of these people is so blatant. They don't bother hiding it. You have offended them terribly. I'm afraid they won't just let you go like this. You have to be alert. Okay. Yi Shiwen nodded, looking at the Wu family's gazes. These people hated Yi Shiwen to the heart. They would conspire against me. Yi Shiwen was crystal clear about it, but he had no other way. Firstly, the opponent just had a plan, but they had not made their move yet. Secondly, he didn't know what the other party would do. The most crucial point was that his current strength was too weak. He still couldn't deal with the Wu family. But it doesn't matter. As long as I accept the spiritual volcano's baptism and step into the half-step transcendent realm late. Even if the old guy Wu Nanjia tries to capture me personally, he will not succeed. Yi Shiwen was still quite confident. He might not defeat Wu Nanjia, but he could still flee from Wu Nanji's pursuit. After all, he had the demon wings. In the face of absolute strength, all conspiracies and tricks would be illusory. This was Yi Ziwen's creed. In the face of any conspiracy, he would be defeated as long as he kept improving himself. Since they are all here, then it is just right. Let's go to the sea surface of the spiritual volcano. It is best to avoid delaying further, said Wang Yanghua. If they were late and the spiritual volcano erupted, the Wang family would suffer the most significant loss. This also raised the doubt that the Wu family came so late for this reason. If the Wu family were late, they would lose up to 2 slots, but the Wang family would lose 4 slots. How could Wang Yanghua give the Wu family the chance to pull off such dirty tricks? If the Wu family said nothing and decided not to leave, then Wang family would go by themselves. By then, the Wang family would still have the slots. 1. The captain first mentioned in Chapter 827. Chapter 850. Chapter 850. Breakthrough in the volcano. Wang Yanghua had already said so. It did not matter whether the Wu family members were happy with it or not. There was a tacit understanding among the 3 families. If the Wu family had the guts to violate it, the Wang family would do so next time. South Initiate Island was generally peaceful. It lay in the compromise and balance between the 3 families. No one took further pauses. Everyone boarded the ship prepared long ago and headed towards the sea region where spiritual volcano was located. As a matter of fact, it should be considered a ship-shaped martial instrument. It turned out to be a great sage tool. Of course, they did not have the luxury of using the transcendent tool as martial instruments for travel. Even in the ancient Barrens continent, the transcendent tool was not common, especially for the 3 prominent clans. Their influence was limited to South Initiate Island and nearby sea regions. There were layers of space warp on the ship. It might not appear big, but it could accommodate many people. After cruising for another half an hour, the ship finally stopped. The 3 families started to get organized and shared important points to take note of. For the 2 individual cultivators who seemed to be experienced, there was no need for further notes. Remember, after you go in, don't move around and wait quietly for the spiritual volcano to erupt. At that time, you must activate your aura barrier immediately, or you will be burned to death by the lava, urged Wang Yanghua. In fact, Wang Mingyu and Wang Feiyun were not newbies. Those who needed the reminder would be Yi Shiwen and the Wang family's young talent, who would be accepting the spiritual volcano baptism for the first time. And Yi Shiwen nodded. During the cruise, he didn't do anything. He only asked around the baptism details. Soon, everyone plunged into the sea. At this time, this sea region appeared relatively peaceful. No beast was seen. All the beasts could feel that this volcano was about to erupt, and the surrounding area would be dangerous. Since these beasts had left in advance, this sea region also appeared to be extremely quiet. Yi Shiwen and others also arrived at the sea bottom. However, a vast continuous mountain range appeared in front of everyone. At the top of this submerged mountain range, there was a huge opening. It was this active volcano that would erupt once every 50 years. There was a fire-attributed spiritual vein near this active volcano. It seemed to be a symbiotic spiritual vein of this active volcano. It was an excellent grade, but none of the 3 prominent families dared to make a move on this spiritual vein. If one were to be careless and cause this active volcano to erupt in advance, everyone would suffer a terrible fate. So, they would instead send people here for baptism every 50 years. Yi Shiwen activated his spiritual senses. He could immediately feel a majestic energy brewing in this active volcano, as if it might erupt at any time. Yi Shiwen became serious. In fact, their distance was not far away from the eruption range. Yi Shiwen dared not to belittle the power of nature. If a Transcendent Realm Master were directly bombarded by the magma spewed out, it would be a fatal burn injury. Everyone did not hesitate and went to their respective positions in descending order, with Yi Shiwen taking the best spot. Yi Shiwen found the cave that belonged to him. He drilled in and immediately laid out the array. Then, he sat down cross-legged, quietly waiting for the spiritual volcano to erupt. Boom! Suddenly, Yi Shiwen felt an earthquake as if some giant creature was turning over. The ground was shaking, and his surrounding rocks were utterly shattered. The surrounding seawater had seemingly reached the boiling point in an instant. Yi Shiwen quickly sensed the absurd escalation of the surrounding temperature. Although he was not directly facing the volcanic crater, he could still feel the temperature change. He hurriedly activated the aura barrier to isolate the heat. This temperature was nothing to his physical body. However, he was afraid that the spiritual volcano would suddenly erupt, burying himself alive on the spot. The mountain range became unstable. Yi Shiwen only felt that the surrounding area was getting hotter and hotter, but immediately, hot spiritual energy engulfed him. This spiritual energy was so rich and pure that it was incredible. The fire-attributed energy was simply out of place with the surrounding seawater. As the energy entered the cave Yi Shiwen was located, all the seawater surrounding him evaporated instantly. After a while, in the cave where Yi Shiwen was, only this scorching spiritual energy was left. Yi Shiwen, this is the fire-attributed spiritual energy. Haha, it's the purest energy. Yi Mo cheered. The earthquake must have shattered the fiery, spiritual stones. Only then, spiritual energy, which is under such pressure in the seabed for hundreds of thousands of years, is released. Although these scorching spiritual energies were uncomfortable, they were so rich that it almost condensed into liquid. One could imagine how high the concentration was. Yi Shiwen deactivated the aura barrier on his arm. He suddenly felt a sizzling sound on his arm, as if the flesh was burnt. These fire-attributed spiritual energies were quite a challenge. As a matter of fact, most of the spiritual energy in the world had no attributes. Only a handful of them had attributes. Unfortunately, these spiritual energies were more challenging to control, especially fire-attributed spiritual energy. They were quite rampant. Many people who acquired fire spiritual stones wouldn't know how to control the stones. They could only resort to selling the stones to those who practice fire martial arts. But Yi Shiwen was naturally different. Although he did not practice martial arts with fire attributes, the power of his tyrant body was too overbearing. Almost all the body tempering forces would be assimilated, so he was not afraid at all. Yi Shiwen didn't hesitate immediately. He directly began to absorb these spiritual energies. Immediately, he felt burning pain in the meridian, but fortunately he could withstand it. With a single inhale, he swallowed all the fire-attributed spiritual energy in the entire cave. It was a great momentum capable of swallowing mountains and rivers. He didn't feel that there was anything wrong with him, but people catching wind of this would be terrified. Besides Yi Shiwen, no one would dare to absorb the fire-attributed spiritual energy so fiercely. It would still make sense if Yi Shiwen had somehow cultivated martial arts and fire attributes. However, since he did not, it was supposedly a careful assimilation process. This fire-attributed spiritual energy was rampant. It was highly possible to burn one's dantian after depositing it in the body. Others could only absorb it bit by bit carefully. However, Yi Shiwen couldn't care less. His tyrant body had reached the 8th level. His inner meridian was cultivated and strengthened. It would withstand fire-attributed spiritual energy. Moreover, the assimilation speed of tyrant body scripture and observing person scripture was swift. The fire-attributed spiritual energy would become ready to be assimilated very soon. Yi Shiwen suddenly felt that he had become stronger again. The Star Beast's bloodline power in his body had also absorbed many nutrients. As Yi Shiwen assimilation went faster and faster, the influx of fire-attributed spiritual energy also escalated. Fortunately, the entire sea region was filled with fire-attributed spiritual energy, while the others refined it slowly, unable to keep up with Yi Shiwen. Otherwise, the others might resort to fighting against Yi Shiwen. After all, they wouldn't be able to cultivate further with Yi Shiwen's domineering cultivation process. Not long after, Yi Shiwen only felt that the whole world seemed to be shaking. The seawater beside him oscillated in great intensity. The fiery magma shot to the sky like a burning sea in the sky. At first, the magma was tender like a beautiful woman scattering flowers, but soon it all fell like a shower. Soon, Yi Shiwen didn't have any mental effort to care about it anymore. The cave was quickly flooded with magma. The countless magma slid down from the submerged volcano as if it were rolling down. Of course, the closer one was to the top of the mountain, the more intense the magma would be. There were not many left when it came to the last two slots at the mountain foot. Of course, although it was not a lot, it was actually enough to fill the entire cave. Yi Shiwen could sense that magma had enveloped him at the moment it had rushed in. The aura barrier on him made a sizzling sound, seemingly going to tear in any second. These magmas were rich in fire-attributed spiritual energy. If one could not assimilate the spiritual energy, it would be buried alive. After hundreds of millions of years, it would develop into another spiritual vein. Yi Shiwen gave all out. He directly removed all the aura barriers on his body. Instantly, he could feel the skin on his whole body burning. He was submerged in the magma. At the same time, Tyrant Body Scripture and Observing Person Scripture were activated. Both techniques enabled the fanatical assimilation of the explosive energy contained in the magma. This magma's energy was so rampant that it surged into Yi Zaiwen's body with no hurdle. Ordinary warriors would not absorb energy like how Yi Shiwen would. They would only use aura barrier to block off most of the energy and then absorb it bit by bit. Otherwise, the energy in that magma could directly burst their bodies. But Yi Shiwen was unique. After cultivating the Tyrant Body technique and absorbing the Star Beast flesh, his physical body was no longer comparable to ordinary people. There posed no problem in such a violent assimilation process. Time waits for no one. The volcanic energy and the fire-attributed spiritual energy in this magma would return to the earth over time. Hence, Yi Shiwen must make use of the time he had to cultivate. Chapter 851 Half. Chapter 851. Half-Step Transcendent Realm. Late day by day, the volcano erupted continuously. It lasted for a whole month before it finally subsided, seemingly taking a rest for the eruption 50 years later. It was just like a human taking a nap after throwing a tantrum. Boom! An explosion sounded from the sea bottom. A figure sprang out from the sea bottom. It was the middle-aged man among the two individual cultivators. His position was at the most bottom, where the magma flowed the least. So he absorbed the least energy, thus leaving the close cultivation first. "Oh my, I'm almost dead." The middle-aged man exhaled deeply. This spiritual volcano is too dangerous. No wonder there are only these 10 slots. Even if I hide in a cave, I'm almost killed by these magmas. If there were no caves, there would be many deaths. However, he was filled with excitement despite the complaining attitude. In this spiritual volcano baptism, he had consolidated his cultivation as the Transcendent Realm first-level warrior, allowing him to ascend in a Transcendent Realm first-level peak. He was only a tad bit distance from entering the Transcendent Realm second level. Boom! There was another loud explosion. A figure jumped out immediately afterward. It was the older man among the individual cultivator duo. He came out almost at the same time with the middle-aged man. Although their slots were different, which rendered distinct geographical advantages, the gap was not too big. Since most of the energy had returned to Earth, he couldn't do anything despite wanting to absorb more energy. So he came out very decisively. He glanced at the middle-aged man who came out first. He didn't say anything, but his aura was much more reliable than when he first started. He must have gained a lot of benefits from it. After these two individual cultivators, another loud bang sounded with another day passed. A figure jumped out. It was none other than Wu Chenhai. However, he did not have the slightest joy from ending his cultivation. He pulled a long face as he stared coldly at the top of the volcano that turned chilly. It was Yi Zaiwen's position. He said coldly, "Yi Shiwen." After a whole month, he absorbed a large amount of spiritual volcano's energy and fire-attributed spiritual energy. His cultivation successfully broke through to the Transcendent Realm's second level as he consolidated his realm. He did not need to worry about his realm being unstable. This trip saved him a lot of time to reach the current progress. However, he did not rush in blatantly to trouble Yi Shiwen. He knew it clearly that Yi Shiwen was not so easy to deal with. Previously, Yi Shiwen defeated Transcendent Realm's second-level warriors, like Yuan Xuehai and Jia Qing. They were miserably defeated. Although he hated Yi Shiwen, he was not stupid. He was indeed stronger than Yuan Xuehai and Jia Qing a month ago. However, as he gained a fantastic breakthrough this month, wouldn't Yi Shiwen be the same? He was not overconfident. He knew very well that Yi Shiwen would inevitably become stronger. If he were to rely on himself for revenge, it would be impossible in the short run. Luckily, it did not matter. His family had arranged someone to deal with Yi Shiwen. Under the pursuit of the Sea clan members at Transcendent Realm 3rd level, it would be impossible for Yi Shiwen to escape even if he had remarkable skills. As a matter of fact, humankind was much inferior to many other races, whether physical body, spirit, and perception of the martial art technique. Almost none of them possessed any advantages compared to many other clans. Humans relied on number games when fighting against other masters of different clans, requiring a group besiege against one opponent. Otherwise, there was no way to attain victory. Fortunately, although the quality of human masters might not be high, humans were advantageous in numbers. In the end, it gave humankind a chance to survive. However, as compared to a lone wolf, many people would be more optimistic about other clans. Of course, there were some monstrous geniuses among human beings. They might be able to handle the besiege of dozens of different clans in the same cultivation realm. Sadly, there were too few people like that. Hence, it reinforced Wu Chenhai's belief that Yi Shiwen was at a dead end. When the Wang family learns about the news of Yi Ziwen's death, it will be a satisfying view. Sadly, I won't be able to witness Yi Ziwen's death, let alone beheading Yi Shiwen. Although it felt like a great pity for Wu Chenhai, it didn't matter. As long as Yi Shiwen would be dead, it didn't matter how it was done. As long as the opponent died, it was good enough. Boom! There was another explosion. A figure broke through the blockage of countless magma and rushed out. It was Jia Qing. At this time, Jia Qing had already ascended to Transcendent Realm 2nd level peak. Wu Chenhai was quite self-aware, knowing that he would not be able to defeat Yi Shiwen. However, Jia Qing didn't think so. He knew that Yi Shiwen must have made progress, but he was more convinced that he must be the one who had made the most progress. How could ordinary people be on a par with me, a Sea Dragon Mansion's disciple? Where is Yi Shiwen? Has he come out? Jia Qing looked at Wu Chenhai and asked. This Jia Qing's attitude made Wu Chenhai very uncomfortable. It was like demanding something from another subordinate. However, thinking that he was still a Sea Dragon Mansion's disciple after all, Wu Chenhai could only hold back his anger and replied plainly, I did not see him yet. He shouldn't come out yet. He was quite clear about the spiritual volcano. Generally speaking, only those with better positions would come out later because they could absorb more energy. This was a benefit that only champions could enjoy. That's great. I will be on guard here. I will let him suffer once he comes out, Jia Qing said coldly. The previous battle was a great humiliation for him. The only way to remove this stain in his life was to behead Yi Shiwen. Wu Chenhai looked at Jia Qing. Although Jia Qing had now entered the Transcendent Realm 2nd level peak, he was still not optimistic that Jia Qing could defeat Yi Shiwen. All these were just Wu Chenhai's deep thoughts. He would not let Jia Qing catch wind of it. Moreover, he was upset with Jia Qing too. Jia Qing was acting arrogant with his identity as Sea Dragon Mansion's disciple. This fellow thought he was superior as he commanded the Wu family as though they were subordinates. What's so great with you? My grandpa is also a Sea Dragon Mansion's disciple. I'm going to enter Sea Dragon Mansion soon. What makes you think so highly of yourself? Thinking of this, Wu Chenhai was agitated. Even though he was confident that Jia Qing would suffer another terrible loss in Yi Ziwen's hand, he wouldn't bother giving Jia Qing a kind reminder. He wanted Jia Qing to suffer terribly. Anyway, these two are annoying. I should let them fight and suffer great losses. Then, you wait here. I'm heading up first. Wu Chenhai didn't want to wait with Jia Qing at the same place. He turned into a stream of light and flew toward the sea. There was a ship waiting for his return. Useless trash. Jia Qing didn't care about Wu Chenhai's departure. Anyway, he looked down at Wu Chenhai. If not for the benefits and Wu Chenhai's eldest brother's status in Sea Dragon Mansion, he would not have come to this rural place and get humiliated. He had never been defeated terribly like this in the past. It made him angry and looked in the direction of Yi Shiwen with blatant killing intent. Boom! Boom! All of a sudden, two massive explosions occurred almost immediately next to each other. It was the two caves that the Yuan family occupied. Yuan Shuehai and another Yuan family's warrior jumped out directly. Yuan Shuehai only glanced at the Jiaqing a short while before returning his gaze at Yi Zaiwen's position. He immediately understood Jiaqing's thoughts, but he didn't say anything and just sneered. Then, he turned around and flew directly towards the sea with another Yuan family's warrior. Boom! There was another explosion. A figure flew up from the magma stone piles. The young expert who belonged to the Wang family had already consolidated Transcendent Realm first-level peak cultivation. After another long while, there was another massive explosion in a cave. Wang Feiyun rushed out directly, with a loud cheer filled with excitement. He finally stepped into the Transcendent Realm second level. Even though he had only recently attained the realm, it was daily consolidated. Thus, he was not the most inferior in the realm. Wang Feiyun soon noticed Jiaqing. Seeing that Jiaqing had been staring at the cave where Yi Shiwen was located, he knew what Jiaqing wanted to do, but he didn't say anything. Although Yi Shiwen helped the Wang family to become the champion, he was still occupied with the grudge of Yi Shiwen defeating him in one move. He would not harm Yi Shiwen, but he only treated Yi Shiwen like a stranger. Jiaqing didn't care about the two people who came out. He only had Yi Shiwen in his eyes, and he wished to smash Yi Shiwen into pieces. After another 3 days, there was another explosion. A huge momentum swept in all directions. A petite figure rushed out. It was none other than Wang Mingyu. "Where is Yi Shiwen? Haven't he come out yet?" Wang Mingyu asked Wang Feiyun as soon as she came out. "Not out yet," said Wang Feiyun. "He's not going to die inside, right?" The Wang family expert said with some worries. This was not a joke. Instead, it had happened many times in the past. The young expert was trapped inside the magma. He was trapped alive inside and died. It should be okay. Yi Shiwen is not a person who doesn't know his limits. If he couldn't stand it, he would have left long ago. He would not even agree to this invitation. Wang Mingyu shook her head. Based on her knowledge of Yi Shiwen, she thought the possibility would be relatively low. However, with his half-step transcendent realm strength, it is not easy to be able to survive until now, said Wang Feiyun. Although Yi Shiwen had outstanding combat prowess, his power realm was still at half-step transcendent realm. After all, absorbing a high magnitude of energy would be challenging. Let's keep waiting, said Wang Mingyu plainly. Time passed day by day. A month had passed, and everyone became a little impatient. Eventually, there was some movement in Yi Zaiwen's cave. Boom! With a loud noise, the solidified magma instantly cracked. A horrible vigor swept in all directions. Half-step transcendent realm late, said Wang Mingyu. She was certain of Yi Zaiwen's power realm. However, it was terrifying that Yi Shiwen was the only one having such a strong vigor during half-step transcendent realm late. Chapter 852. Chapter 852. Defeating Jiaqing again, although it was the vigor in half-step transcendent realm late. This vigor made her feel a little bit timid. Luckily, this vigor only lasted for a moment. It converged after Yi Shiwen broke through the magma layer. It made her second-guess the feeling. Did I sense it wrongly? Yi Shiwen took a deep breath. The surrounding sea echoed in stronger waves. In about 2 months, he kept absorbing the energy inside the volcano in addition to the fire-attributed spiritual energy, constantly tempering his body, and finally successfully ascended to half-step transcendent realm late. His tyrant body scripture that was initially 8th level approached the breakthrough to enter the 9th level. By that time, it would be attaining great mastery. Comparatively speaking, tyrant body scripture 6th level was minor mastery. Tyrant body scripture 9th level would be great mastery. At the end of the spectrum, the 10th level would be the great perfection. There were considerable changes in each level. According to EMO, one could defeat a dragon clan during the tyrant body 9th level. Dragon clan had a notoriously powerful physical body. Acquiring tyrant body 8th level was not enough to contend with dragon clan. However, the acquisition of the 9th level would allow him to defeat the dragon clan members. It was conceivable how strong it was. As for the 10th layer, great perfection, that would be really far away. Yi Shiwen could not imagine himself achieving that yet. When Yi Shiwen attains Tyrant Body 9th level, he would have the strength to fight even if he encountered Dragon Clan members with a cultivation that was 3 levels higher than him. However, despite him approaching the 9th level, it was still 1 step away from it. This gap was seemingly impossible to breach. Yi Shiwen could only stop bitterly. In these 2 months, Yi Shiwen not only made a lot of gains in terms of the physical body, but his cultivation also did not lag behind as he attained the half-step Transcendent Realm late and entered the peak of that cultivation realm. Since Yi Shiwen was situated at the top of the volcano, he had assimilated the most energy. It was a violent way, but the efficiency was 20-folds in comparison to others. That allowed him to break through and reach the peak. Besides, he had refined a part of Star Beast's vigor and blood essence. He experienced improvements that he had never enjoyed before. It seems like a wise choice to help out the Wang family. Brother Yi, congratulations on your great advancement in cultivation. Wang Mingyu arched his hands and smiled. She faintly felt that Yi Shiwen would not be the average Joe. Among the young masters in the flourished Cloud Sea region, Yi Shiwen would be recognized. Fortunately, such a character was on the Wang family's side. Wang Feiyun and another disciple of the Wang family also came forward to congratulate Yi Shiwen. When Yi Shiwen came out just now, they witnessed his mighty vigor. Yi Shiwen, do you dare to fight? Jia Qing's yell came from a distance and disrupted them. A figure flew up from the mountain foot with a powerful aura. Jia Qing soon appeared in front of the 4 of them, looking at Yi Shiwen coldly. The gaze was like a predator staring at its prey. You are unmatched to me. Don't waste my time. Yi Shiwen shook his head and said, Arrogant. Jia Qing shouted, then, let me see how capable you are. A long saber appeared in his hand. Without waiting for Yi Ziwen's consent, he launched his attack and forced Yi Shiwen to a fight. Wave-breaking slash. The wave-breaking saber technique in Jia Qing's hands was several times stronger than before. In addition to his cultivation, the most important thing was that the battle took place near the sea. He had a geographical advantage. The battlefield was quite humid, increasing his wave-breaking technique's power output. It was incomparable to how the technique back then in South Initiate Island. He didn't have to exert much strength to capture the water vapor. That was why he had the confidence to defeat Yi Shiwen here. Only by defeating Yi Shiwen once could he eradicate his inner demon. With that, he would not be restricted in the future. On the contrary, he would have a brighter path. Even a person of ordinary aptitude would become a genius himself over time if he could continuously defeat geniuses in his journey. Things in the world were quite remarkable. The long saber in Jia Qing's hand emitted a massive saber aura, engulfing countless seawater, directly cutting the world apart, and immediately bombarded Yi Shiwen. Whether it was Wang Mingyu, Wang Feiyun, or the Wang family's expert, they all dodged the attack. Their eyes could not hide the horror contained within. The saber technique was destructive. On South Initiate Island, the power portrayed that time was only a fraction of what was happening in front of their eyes. Yi Shiwen started to bat an eye on his opponent. The power of this saber technique has increased several times. It is advantageous on the sea. Yi Shiwen, this saber technique may be only an intermediate human-level saber technique under normal circumstances. However, in a sea region with high humidity, it could even directly soar to the advanced human level. Said Yimo, are these martial techniques classified? Yi Shiwen asked. Of course, these martial techniques are divided into 4 levels. Human level, earth level, heaven level, and deity level. Each of which was divided into 4 small stages. Elementary, intermediate, advanced, and elite. Yimo explained. After the Transcendent Realm, most of the martial arts techniques would be classified. As for the great sage level of martial arts, such as the coiled dragon palm you learned previously, they were unworthy to be classified at all. The martial arts below Transcendent Realm would no longer be effective anymore. However, these martial arts are not static, just like the wave-breaking saber technique. Activating it near water would increase its power, making it more difficult to deal with. Said Yimo, what are the grades of my existing martial arts? Yi Shiwen asked. As he spoke, he had already turned into a cluster of light and bombarded on the approaching mighty saber aura. Boom! The saber aura was deflected back to the sea bottom. Immediately, a terrifying explosion rose from the sea bottom. Numerous junk and debris floated up to the sea surface instantly. An apparent saber slash could be seen directly. When Yi Shiwen appeared again, he was already miles away. Demon Wings and Phoenix Regeneration Technique are deity-level martial arts. Most importantly, the technique, Overturning the Heaven Seal. If you manage to cultivate the Overturning the Heaven Seal to the peak, it will naturally evolve into a deity-level martial arts. Shattered Star Fist can only be regarded in advanced human level. The good news is that Meteor Explosion should be as powerful as the elementary Earth-level technique after fully deducing and comprehending the technique. In terms of sword technique, the Burial Sword technique is an advanced human level. However, if you use the ultimate move, Immortality Sword, the power output may soar to the elite Earth level. Speaking of it, the Star Beast leaves you with many benefits. The 1,000 Star-Lord Fist, Sky Collapsing Fire Cloud Hand, and the like are only at the intermediate human level, similar to this wave-breaking saber technique. That Demon Chi Bomb will improve as your cultivation grows. If you can become deity one day, then the Demon Chi Bomb you launch has the deity-level martial art technique power. Explained Yi Shiwen understood that the most potent martial arts he learned would grow rather than being static. What he could achieve was closely related to his strength. If he were strong enough, then these martial arts would not be weaker than others. If he were to be inferior, only the Demon Wings, Phoenix Regeneration Technique, and the like could exert the most impact. On the contrary, Burial Sword Technique was a wild card. Immortality Sword had great power. Despite it being a wild card, he would be dead once Immortality Sword was used. It was only meant as a last resort. He would not think of it unless it was the desperate last move. Is the Meteor Explosion only at elementary Earth level? Yi Shiwen was a bit dissatisfied. He tried so hard to deduce this technique, yet it was only at elementary Earth level. Even so, he still hadn't been able to deduce Meteor Explosion at the current moment fully. In other words, the inferior Meteor Explosion might only attain the elite human level at most. Don't underestimate elementary Earth level. For your information, many masters who have surpassed the transcendent realm only have the martial arts of elite human level. If you don't have a mysterious space, it is impossible to craft an elementary Earth level's martial techniques. There are many things beyond the transcendent realm masters can't do. Yimo reaffirmed Yi Shiwen as he sensed Yi Zaiwen's dissatisfaction. Like the Wang family's return to the Cloud Hand, it is at most similar to the wave-breaking saber's martial art technique level, while at the same time, it's already worthy of being the Wang family's martial arts inheritance. Yi Shiwen found it agreeable. Although he hadn't been able to craft high-level martial arts yet, it didn't mean he wouldn't be able to do it in the future. He had a mysterious space and Mingxin ancient tree. He had a much better advantage than many people. Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen felt elated. He stared at Jia Qing, who had attacked again. With the sea, the wave-breaking saber technique's power had also increased a lot. Jia Qing became more fanatic as he slashed towards Yi Shiwen. Yi Zaiwen's eyes glimmered. A vigorous qi on his body began to disperse, invoking countless seawater vortexes. Slowly, a waterspout manifested next to him. Shattered Star Fist. Yi Shiwen yelled. Countless stars' powers warped around his fist. A punch imbued with star clusters was launched. Countless seawater swarmed into a water column. It accompanied the Shattered Star Fist and slammed towards the opponent. Boom! The fist impact clashed with the saber aura. As if they had made some chemical reaction, they exploded wildly in the sea. The seawater shockwaves that were visible to the naked eye swept out in all directions. Boom! Yi Zaiwen's fist impact did not diminish. After dissipating through the saber aura, it collided heavily with Jia Qing. Jia Qing suffered a massive hit, and his body flew out directly. He spurted a mouthful of blood directly, dyeing the whole sea region red. It still happened in one move. No matter how many moves Jia Qing made, Yi Shiwen defeated him with just one move. Chapter 853. Chapter 853. Leaving South Initiate Island. This is impossible. How come? Jia Qing couldn't believe it. He finally mustered up the courage to challenge Yi Shiwen. He initially thought that his cultivation had greatly improved. With the battlefield at sea, he had a great advantage. He felt that he still had a good chance to defeat Yi Shiwen. He did not anticipate that no matter how fast he progressed, he was still unable to withstand one move. Yi Shiwen crumbled all his attacks in one move, as if all his attacks were so fragile, and he was unworthy to be an opponent at all. Wang Mingji's attractive crimson lips raised a little. She didn't know what to say. Yi Shiwen seemed to be more terrifying than 2 months ago. Jia Qing could still fight Yi Shiwen for a while previously. Right now, Jia Qing was defeated in the blink of an eye. Wang Feiyun was also quite shocked. The only unwillingness in his heart disappeared. If a person were a little stronger than him, then he would not admit defeat. With such a big gap, he cowered from the fight for glory. Yi Shiwen didn't care what Jia Qing felt. He dashed forward, morphing into a cluster of light, and headed toward the sea. Wang Mingyu, Wang Feiyun, and others also followed Yi Shiwen. They directly floated up. Jia Qing was stunned for a long time in a daze before he flew to the sea surface. I'm leaving. The next day, Yi Shiwen approached Wang Mingyu and said to her. He pursed his lips and looked into a distance. No one knew what he was longing for. Are you leaving? Wang Mingyu said in astonishment, and soon came into realization. Although she had known for a long time that Yi Shiwen would inevitably leave, South Initiate Island was such a small place for a genius like him. But when he really said it, she was still slightly surprised. And I want to go to a bigger island for adventure. Yi Shiwen nodded and said. Now for him, South Initiate Island was too small. He was unrivaled with the young masters in this place. It was indeed time for him to leave. Yi Shiwen had thought about it too. If he were to return to the ancient Baron's mainland, he was still outmatched by the North Mountain clan chief. He would only die terribly, let alone take revenge for Shun Yanmei. Worse still, he had no other way to go back now. He could only put the matter on hold first. As for the search for his father, he could only put it aside. Well, I will let the people in my family put close observation at Wu family, lest the Wu family send masters to intercept you, said Wang Mingyu. It was highly possible that the Wu family would resort to this, so she had to take precautions. If something happened on Yi Shiwen, no one would dare to be of service to the Wang family in the future. And Yi Shiwen agreed. In fact, he didn't care about this. Even if the Wu family besieged him, he could escape any encirclement easily. After all, the Wu family was just a small family. They had no distinguished character like the North Mountain clan chief. Yi Shiwen wouldn't see them as a threat. But no matter when you come back in the future, the door of the Wang family is always open to welcome you back, said Wang Mingyu. Such a person's future was unlimited. There would be no harm in building a firm connection in advance. Thank you, Yi Shiwen said with a smile. He had no plans to come back after he left. Have you decided where you are going now? Said Wang Mingyu. Not yet. I will let fate decide my path, said Yi Shiwen. If you want to go back to the ancient Baron's mainland, you can first go to the nearby sunny bamboo island. This is the most prosperous island in the nearby sea region. There may be a sea region map for sale, said Wang Mingyu. Yi Shiwen nodded. Cruising the sea was different from traveling on land. Worst comes to worst, Yi Shiwen had to repeat the same path if he got lost. However, on the sea, he might enter a forbidden place or encounter terrifying sea creatures. By that time, he might not be able to walk out alive. The sea region map had become a precious strategic resource. Generally speaking, in the boundless sea region, the greater a force was, the more perfect and more extensive the sea region map would be. The Wang family sea region map only had details in their surroundings. Their map would not allow Yi Shiwen to head directly to the ancient Baron's continent. Each of these sea region maps was made from many human sacrifices. Those people who wanted to identify whether the places were dangerous or not were risking their lives. Many sacrifices had to pile up to achieve progress. This was why the sea region map was sought throughout many places. Sunny Bamboo Island, Yi Shiwen mumbled. In this sunny bamboo island is the largest island near us in the sea region. It is quite prosperous. It is in the southwest of the flourished Cloud Sea region. It is second only to Sea Dragon Island, where the Sea Dragon Mansion is located, said Wang Mingyu. In this endless sea region, these islands were like star-studded night skies. These islands were arranged like cities' distribution on land. Each island would have a large city. Sunny Bamboo is the most abundant resource on Sunny Bamboo Island. It is tough and has absorbed countless utmost strength and utmost just energy. If it is made into a weapon, it will be effective. In the long run, the specialty of Sunny Bamboo Island is also well known. Due to Sunny Bamboo, it has attracted many people to come, and gradually flourished to the point where the island is only second to Sea Dragon Island. You should pay a visit to Sunny Bamboo Island and look for sea region maps that has a path towards the ancient Baron's mainland, said Wang Mingyu. Even if your efforts are fruitless, you still go to Sea Dragon Mansion. It is possible to find what you want there too. Thank you. Yi Shiwen thanked her again, expressing his gratefulness. No matter what, Wang Mingyi's sharing was deserving of his thanks. Not a big deal. I should thank you instead. You make my Wang family proud, making a comeback while overcoming the challenges. Compared with this, I'm only sharing something that everyone knows, replied Wang Mingyu. She decided to be as helpful as she could to Yi Shiwen due to her optimism in his future, instead of the fact that Yi Shiwen helped the Wang family win the contest. In her opinion, Yi Shiwen would become one of a kind in the flourished Cloud Sea region in the future. It was an excellent profit for her to strengthen her connection with a future influencing figure in the vast sea regions, with mere information that everyone knew. You're welcome. It is a piece of cake. In the future, if the Wang family needs something, I will try my best to help when it is within my capability. Yi Shiwen emphasized. He naturally understood that he already got the bargain. As he helped the Wang family win the contest, he had gotten a slot for spiritual volcano's baptism. He wouldn't want to forego a friendly status with the Wang family. Of course, he was voluntary in his promise since there was no obligation tied already. Soon, the Wu family learned that Yi Shiwen would be leaving south in Initiate Island. In the discussion hall, many Wu family elders and masters gathered together. This little brat is going to leave. Even fates want his death. Wu Yin sneered. He was elated deep down his heart. Yi Ziwen's emergence ruined his plan, thus making him hate Yi Shiwen to the guts. Indeed, you should immediately inform your brother that I want him to die terribly and bring me his head. I will personally send it to Wang family. It will be enjoyable to see their expression, Wu Nanjia said with a cold gaze. Compared with Wu Yin, he hated Yi Shiwen even more because Yi Shiwen almost ruined his son's future. Father, please let me go with him. I will watch him die with my own eyes. No, I will personally break his neck by myself. Wu Chenhai stepped forward and thundered. His gaze was filled with resentment. He was the person who hated Yi Shiwen the most among the Wu family. He was a proud genius who had not encountered any setbacks. His path had gone smoothly all along. He never imagined that he would suffer terribly under Yi Shiwen. Since he had not taken his revenge, the resentment was boiling. If he couldn't watch Yi Shiwen die in front of his eyes, he would not be able to sleep at night. Sooner or later, he might even form an inner demon. I request to go along too. Jiaqing stepped forward and said, Brother, let them go together. Anyway, it's a foolproof thing. My brother also brought a few of his men. They can definitely kill Yi Shiwen. It doesn't hurt to let them get more exposed, said Wu Yin. This all right. Wu Nanjia contemplated. Since it is foolproof, it should be fine to let them tag along. I'm afraid that the Wang family will be alerted. If we startle them, the little brat may give up leaving. Then our plan was in vain. It's fine. Indeed, the Wang family is watching us. However, their focus should be veterans like us. For them, the Wang family would be unperturbed. Moreover, we can let them leave via our hidden path. This is absolutely foolproof, added Wu Yin. All right, you may go. Bring back the little brat's head. Give the Wang family a good view of it, Wu Nanjie said as he slammed on the table. Thank you, father, cheered Wu Chenhai. Yi Shiwen, meet your demise. Chapter 854. Chapter 854. Encounter an ambush. Yi Zaiwen's figure quickly flew by midair, causing a series of sea waves to splash. On the endless sea, Yi Zaiwen's speed was impressive. His flying height was neither high nor low. Staying too low might render him easily ambushed by the sea beast, while staying too high made him vulnerable to the beast in the sky. With beasts everywhere, only this height would be a little safer. Even in the true martial domain, the sea region was still the most challenging place to set foot. When true martial school was in its heyday, it was already difficult to conquer places like this. The situation worsened in this endless sea region at the ancient Barrens continent. The salty sea breeze carrying blood scent rushed towards him. I wonder where the source is. The wind whipped Yi Zaiwen's clothes. He morphed himself into a cluster of light as he navigated forward. Above this boundless sea region, he only needed to be careful and avoid those stormy regions. There was nothing in particular. Yi Shiwen, now you only need to consolidate your cultivation for some time before tackling the transcendent realm ascension, said Yi-Mo. Yi Shiwen nodded. He finally understood a little bit about how the transcendent realm masters under the age of 500 years old emerged in the ancient Barrens continent. When he was at true martial domain, he was relatively young. Even Huang Wuji was already over 1,000 years old when he entered the transcendent realm. For Yi Shiwen, he was just above 100 years old now, while not reaching 200 years old. In true martial domain, he was shocking to the world. However, in this ancient Barrens continent, he seemed ordinary. Wang Mingyu was only around 100 years old. Truth to be told, she was even younger than Yi Shiwen. Originally, he was amazed by this place. Now he felt nothing. It was pretty standard. In such a short period when he came to ancient Barrens, his cultivation already attained a breakthrough. Although the star beast's vital energy and blood essence took a role in it, the most important thing was that this world's environment was much more optimum. It was as if someone who had been living in Jupiter suddenly ran to the moon, thus becoming a Superman all of a sudden. Similarly, this also meant that there would be many young experts in the ancient Barrens continent. Thinking of this, Yi Zaiwen's blood was boiling. It fit his initial reason. He came to the ancient Barrens continent because he had no opponent in the true martial domain. He had a sea region map in his hand, the same map that Wang family had inherited for many years. The map was marked out clearly, preventing Yi Shiwen from getting lost. Although he could explore the path with his spiritual sense, the scope of his spiritual sense was still inadequate, especially in this boundless sea region. He would be like a blind man. Yi Shiwen, a beast has been tailing you, Yi-Mo suddenly alerted. Yi Shiwen immediately investigated it with his spiritual sense. Sure enough, less than 100 miles behind, there was a crocodile beast continuously swimming toward his direction. It was a black crocodile beast that was several tens of meters long. The black scales glowed faintly in the sea. Its sharp claws and vicious jaws had declared its status as a formidable predator. Yi Shiwen sneered. You're only a transcendent realm beast, and yet you dare to put your eyes on me. Yi Shiwen, this creature is unlike a wild beast. He keeps tailing you 100 miles away. While he is not approaching, he already has his eyes on you. According to my years of experience, there must be a master behind, coveting on you. Added Yi-Mo. Yi Shiwen was slightly surprised. Soon, he came to a realization. After arriving at the ancient Barrens continent, I did not offend many people. The North Mountain clan is far away in the ancient Barrens continent. They can't be here. There is only one possibility, the Wu family. No wonder they didn't make a move during my departure. I thought the Wang family was a good deterrent, but now it doesn't seem to be the case. Nevertheless, Yi Shiwen was unperturbed. Even if Wu Nanjie came personally, Yi Shiwen was confident that he could retreat safely. When he was about to expand his demon wings to shake off that crocodile beast pursuit, the feedback from his spiritual senses alerted him of an approaching group. The leading person was not a human being, but a Sea Clan member. Although he was human-like, the scales on his face and the claw-like hands had revealed his identity. Yi Shiwen learned about the Sea Clan's existence for a long time, but he was caught in surprise when seeing their existence firsthand. These Sea Clans were the actual ruler of the sea region. Humans only had sovereignty on land. The sea bottom belonged to the Sea Clans. No one dared to underestimate them. Besides this particular Sea Clan member, there were 4 other experts who were also Sea Clan members. After these 4, Yi Shiwen noticed 2 acquaintances, Jia Qing and Wu Chenhai. Yi Shiwen squinted his eyes. "Hello there, buddy." "Hey, Yi Shiwen, I didn't expect them to be quite enthusiastic, sending you off." Yi Mo mocked sarcastically. "Sending me off? Then I'll send them off to their last journey." Yi Shiwen smiled faintly. He initially wanted to throw off this group from his tail. He abandoned that idea while something new popped up in his mind. In his eyes, it was as if there was the universe getting born and disintegrated later. It was imbued with the unique light of flickering stars. Occasionally, a ray of killing intent flashed in them. Sure enough, not long after Yi Shiwen stopped, those Sea Clan masters in addition to Jia Qing and Wu Chenhai arrived. The tyrannical transcendent realm aura was already quite apparent in a distance. When they saw Yi Shiwen, they encircled Yi Shiwen with their auras. "Ha! Yi Shiwen, are you scared?" Seeing Yi Shiwen, Wu Chenhai immediately laughed proudly. "The shame you instilled on me, I will surely return it 100,000 times, making you feel worse than death." After Wu Chenhai laughed, his face turned gloomy as if images of Yi Shiwen shaming him surfaced. He had never been humiliated like this in the past. He could not get rid of this hatred if he couldn't kill Yi Shiwen. Feeling something worse than death, smiled Yi Shiwen faintly. "Ah, nephew, it's fine. After your uncle catches him, then you can do whatever you want." The vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile expert laughed, grinned, and looked at Yi Shiwen. His ruthless gaze seemingly declared his confidence in taking down Yi Shiwen. "Hey, Brad. This uncle is from the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, Yixiantian. After you die, don't remember the wrong name." The Sea Clan expert laughed. "Uncle, stop wasting time talking to this brat. Actually, no matter how many things he knows, he is going to the afterlife anyway. Is there reincarnation in this world?" "Huh?" Wu Chenhai laughed as he deemed Yi Shiwen dead already, which soothed his anxiety. "That's right. He's just a dead person." Yi Xiangtian laughed aloud. The waves under his feet suddenly separated. A huge beast appeared at everyone's feet. It was the crocodile tracking Yi Shiwen closely. "Let's go together." Yi Xiangtian gave an order. 4 vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile experts immediately rushed towards Yi Shiwen. Their terrifying beast-like aura completely swept out. These 4 were experts in Transcendent Realm's 2nd level peak. They were approaching the Transcendent Realm 3rd level. In this case, they were much more oppressive than Jia Qing. They were the Transcendent Realm's 2nd level veterans. Boom! The 4 Sea Clan experts approached in an instant. Although they were huge, they were not sluggish at all. They came almost instantly. Yi Shiwen sneered as he made a move. "Xiao!" A golden light burst out from Yi Ziwen's hand. At an indescribable speed, the light instantly went straight to the throat of the fastest Sea Clan expert. Puff! The golden light in Yi Ziwen's hand pierced his throat without any hindrance. Blood sprayed out incessantly like a bloody flower blooming. With the blood spraying out, all the vitality in his body seemed to be taken away. The body turned cold in an instant. Puff! The Sea Clan expert fell directly from mid-air into the sea. What? Another Sea Clan expert was about to rush to Yi Ziwen's face. He watched his companion turn into a cold corpse in Yi Ziwen's hands, but they had already rushed over. At this time, it seemed too late to retreat. He propelled himself backward in an instant, trying to avoid Yi Shiwen. "You're fleeing? Do you think you have the chance?" Yi Ziwen's cold voice sounded in an instant. Another golden light pierced the vast sky. Another bud of blood blossomed. Although the Crocodile Clan expert was already cautious, his speed was incomparable with Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen caught up without much hindrance. Puff! The sound declared another death. The expert's body quickly turned cold as he lost his vitality, falling directly from the sky. Stop! Yi Xiangtian almost broke into tears as he opened his eyes widely. These 4 experts were his brothers who had followed him for many years. Any one of their death or injury would hurt deep down in his heart. Worse still, Yi Shiwen defeated 2 of them in one fell swoop. He felt as if his heart was about to be torn apart. Yi Shiwen sneered. Why would he stop just because of Yi Xiangshan's words? These enemies came for his life. He wouldn't give them mercy. Yi Xiwen's toes tapped sharply. Another golden light flashed in his hands. His figure suddenly swooped toward the 2 remaining Sea Clan experts. One Yi Xiangtian. Just meant crocodile. This Sea Clan expert was bashed into a pile of flesh on the spot. Its blood essence sprayed all over the sky with the Tianguan mirror, absorbing it wholly. Yi Shiwen was like a grim reaper. He would bring death wherever he went. All who oppose him would die. Brat, you are courting death. Yi Xiangshan's eyes shed blood and tears. It was chilly. You dare to kill Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's expert. Our entire clan will hunt you down. In this endless sea region, the Sea Clan status was much higher than that of human beings. Human beings were divided into various forces, but the Sea Clan members were much more united. It was precisely because of the high number of Sea Clan experts that human experts had to think twice before confronting them. However, such a threat was totally meaningless to Yi Shiwen. Those involved in the hunt will not be spared from being hunted. Since you want to kill me, you should be ready to get killed, said Yi Shiwen coldly without any sympathy. He was unfazed by the threat. Yi Shiwen was far more ruthless than anyone. He won't have the slightest sympathy for those wanting to take his life at all. Damn, I will break you into pieces. Yi Xiangtian roared. The terrifying qi within him fluctuated intensely. It formed a cruel and violent qi, overwhelming the sky. Yi Xiangshan's cultivation had entered the Transcendent Realm 3rd level peak, which was a level stronger than these subordinates. I want to take your body to feed the beast. Let them tear you off piece by piece. Yi Xiangtian roared. His anger burnt brightly in the sky. Yi Xiangtian had a hideous face. The killing intent had substantively manifested. After a loud shout, he directly turned into a cluster of black light, rushing towards Yi Shiwen. Sha! He appeared in front of Yi Shiwen in an instant. Both of his arms grew a lot bigger at once, thick and long like 2 steel forks. He transformed his arms into weapons with his claws grabbing towards Yi Shiwen. His speed was breakneck. The strength of Transcendent Realm 3rd level peak was fully demonstrated at this moment. It was way beyond the leader Yi Xuan previously killed by many calibers. His claws were so fast that only Black Shadow could be seen. He appeared straight in front of Yi Shiwen in an instant. Yi Xiwen's hands were glowing with golden light. Soon, the golden divinity clad on him like a deity cast in gold. Dang! As the claw caught on to Yi Xiwen's body, only metal sound could be heard. Dang! It was like a violent collision of gold and iron. The golden divinity on Yi Xiwen's body shone intensely. Are you only capable of this? If that's the case, forget about killing me. Yi Shiwen laughed. Damn it! Yi Xiangtian exclaimed. The most prominent feature of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was its poison. His poison would simply be a joke if he could not penetrate Yi Xiwen's defense. Yi Xiangtian was depressed, but Yi Shiwen had no scruples and directly launched a counterattack. Immediately, Yi Xiangtian was forced to retreat. The strengths he was so proud of became useless in front of Yi Shiwen. Boom! Yi Xiangtian was blasted off by Yi Shiwen, stirring up countless waves on the sea's surface, and finally he stopped. He looked at Yi Shiwen with bitter eyes and roared, Brat, you are dead. Do you think that I can't kill you? Yi Xiangtian grabbed his hands toward the void. A black mist wrapped around his arm, and a pair of metal iron claws appeared on his fist. Above this pair of iron claws, it emitted a faint essence of transcendent tool. It turns out to be a weak, human-level martial instrument. Yi Shiwen squinted his eyes. Like martial arts, martial instruments were divided into 4 levels: human level, earth level, heaven level, and deity level. They were divided into 4 small stages, namely elementary, intermediate, advanced, and elite. The transcendent tool referred to in the true martial domain was human-level martial instrument. It was uncommon in the true martial domain, let alone in the ancient Barrens continent. However, since they were abundant transcendent realm masters in the ancient Barrens continent, not everyone could possess a human-level martial instrument. Only skilled transcendent realm masters could truly reach high compatibility with a martial instrument. Many masters who surpassed the transcendent realm were still using human-level martial instrument. However, even if they were all human-level martial instruments, they were distinguished into different grades. For example, the current Tianyuan mirror was only at human-level elementary peak, but it was not far from being promoted to human-level intermediate. Seeing that Yixiangtian still had a trump card, Jia Qing and the others were relieved. Just now, as they watched Yi Shiwen beating Yixiangtian into retreat, they had thought about fleeing on the spot. Although Yixiangtian was here to help them, they disregarded it. After all, they'd rather have him dead than them. But with the martial instruments, the situation was completely different. Although it was only the martial instruments of human-level elementary, it was still a classified martial instrument after all. Although it is only the human-level elementary martial instrument, you still have to be careful. After all, having a martial instrument in hand makes a huge difference. Yimo reminded. And Yi Shiwen nodded. Yi Xiangshan's eyes were cold. A black mist entangled his hand. Violent energy permeated on top of the claws, raising it to a terrifying speed. Die! Yixiangtian roared fiercely and stomped on his feet. He turned into a stream of light and rushed towards Yi Shiwen. In just an instant, he appeared in front of Yi Shiwen. His speed had increased by several % compared to just now. Sha! A terrifying force boiled out from Yi Xiangshan's claws. The monstrous black light swept in all directions, emitting 5 rays. The light engulfed the sky and the earth, grabbing Yi Shiwen. His grasp tore the air. The space fluctuated violently. There was a faint trace of his grip that was reinforced with sharp claws. Yi Shiwen retreated sharply. While retreating, the Tianyuan mirror in his body reacted and rose directly into the sky, turning into a bloody sun. The boundless blood-colored light gathered in the void and morphed into a blood-colored ball. A beam of light blasted down towards Yixiangtian. Boom! At the moment of the impact, the sky seemed to be quiet for an instant. However, at the place of impact, endless power took the form of a sphere, sweeping out in all directions. The 2 martial instruments of human-level elementary collided directly in the void. Chapter 856. Chapter 856. Slaughtering everyone, 2 terrifying forces swiftly surged towards the blue sky and the sea, enveloping a region in the radius of 3 miles. Countless seawater was siphoned up to the sky. As the seawater fell back to the sea, a stormy rain pervaded the battlefield. In the vast sea connected with sky, black light and blood light had each occupied a side. Horrific shockwaves swept out in all directions. The confrontation between these 2 destructive forces did not last long. Soon, the black light began to weaken gradually. On the other side of the black light, Yixiangtian started to look pale. He did possess a human-level elementary martial instrument. Operating, it put a tremendous toll on his spiritual energy. In just a brief collision, the energy consumption had overwhelmed him. He would be fine if the opponent was not equipped with martial instruments. In reality, Yi Shiwen also had a martial instrument, pushing the consumption rate by many folds. The qi remaining in his body struggled to keep up. On the other hand, it was a different case for Yi Shiwen. He had inputted at least tens of millions of elixir and spirit crystals in Tianyuan mirror, let alone a dragon vein that could continuously provide energy. He would never lose out in terms of endurance. Moreover, the qi in his body was 10 folds of ordinary masters or experts. He was unfazed by an endurance battle. The rank and power of Tianyuan Mirror were much more advanced than martial instruments that barely squeeze into human level. Yi Shiwen sneered as he felt the black light had weakened a lot. He didn't weaken the Tianyuan Mirror's power output. On the contrary, he escalated the power output to kill this Yi Xiangtian on the spot. The killing intent was glaring in Yi Zaiwen's eye. He would not let go of the enemies who came afar to hunt him down. Boom! There was another earth-shattering loud noise. The black light could not last any longer. It collapsed on the spot. Blood light instantly occupied the entire sky, like a curtain. Blood light bombarded the opponent. Visible energy waves could be seen wherever the blood light passed. Bang! Yi Xiangtian faced the direct hit. His entire chest was severely mutilated, with some bones broken. His figure flew in the distance like a disconnected kite with a broken string. Brat, think about it clearly. I am a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan member. If you kill me, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan will never let you go. Yi Xiangtian was finally scared. All his cards did nothing in front of Yi Shiwen. He seemed so vulnerable. He was not afraid, even if his subordinates were killed just now. He believed that he could crush Yi Shiwen with the overwhelming cultivation lead. After all, Yi Shiwen was only at half-step Transcendent Realm. How could Yi Shiwen possibly outmatch me? But he cowered in fear in the end. The human-level martial instrument was his ultimate trump card. He found it unbelievable that Yi Shiwen also had a human-level martial instrument. How can he possibly do that? He is merely a half-step Transcendent Realm warrior. Why does he own a Transcendent tool? This is totally unreasonable. Many Transcendent Realm masters don't have human-level martial instrument, but this brat does. He finally understood that this brat was no average Joe, but someone beyond his level. At this time, he could only resort to using his clan to intimidate Yi Shiwen. Although the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was not the most powerful sea clan in the Endless Sea, it was still a decent clan, especially to those humankinds. Experts would be cautious about the upcoming troubles it would bring. But he was wrong. For a lone wolf like Yi Shiwen, there was nothing terrifying to it. The best way to keep a secret was death. Without giving the crocodile clan to open its mouth, a shocking blood pillar blasted directly into his chest, instantly blasting a big hole on his body. Yi Xiangtian was shocked. After bringing the name of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan, he still failed to intimidate Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen still killed him with no mercy. He could feel that the vitality in his body was fading at a terrifying speed. He wanted to grasp something in fear, but he could only feel that his body became chill. His vigor had run dry, and no strength could be mustered. He sunk directly into the Endless Sea. Yi Shiwen immediately took all his wealth. Although Yi Xiangtian was only a Transcendent Realm 3rd level peak, he had also made a lot of profit over the years. The spirit crystal on him was more than 10 million. In addition to the 60 million spirit crystals that Yi Shiwen originally had, Yi Shiwen now had about 70 million spirit crystals. Yi Shiwen, you will die a horrible death. You dare to kill the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan member. There is no way for you to survive. Go to hell. Wu Chenhai looked at Yi Shiwen with horror and anger. He seemingly could not make sense of what had happened. Yi Shi sneered, "Between heaven and earth, I only kill the people who should be killed. What does it have to do with what clan group he is? As a human, you're spineless." The living adversities in the ancient Barrens continent were countless-fold to true martial domain. Although the true martial domain had limitations, at least humans dominated the world, so Yi Shiwen never felt anything. Killing any beast or sea creature wasn't any big deal. There were many more concerns in the ancient Barrens continent. Like Wu Chenhai and everyone else of unparalleled palace, they were afraid of these native clans. "Not to mention you will go to hell with them soon," said Yi Shiwen faintly. "Run!" Jia Qing and Wu Chenhai yelled quickly. They didn't hesitate and fled in separate two completely different directions. They all hoped that Yi Shiwen would chase and kill the other party instead of themselves. Yi Shiwen glanced at the two of them. He figured out their thoughts at a glance, but Yi Shiwen didn't care at all. The demon wings behind him fanned instantly. The lightning wings glimmered in an instant. His figure turned into a golden light. He caught up with Wu Qinhai, the man who regarded him as a great threat since the first encounter. Yi Shiwen, you can't kill me. Otherwise, our Wu family won't let you go. Wu Qinhai was shocked to find that Yi Shiwen had chased him first. He screamed in panic. His conspiracy and plot were all useless. Any dirty ticks were illusory in the face of absolute strength. Wu family, if you come here, it's not about whether you will let me go, but whether I will let your family go. Yi Shiwen sneered. With his cultivation, he would not need to restrain himself in front of the Wu family. Instead, the Wu family should worry day and night whether Yi Shiwen would hunt them down. At this time, Wu Qinhai finally realized it. Yi Shiwen might not be able to do anything to the Wu family. With his growth rate, the Wu family would be shivering in fear. It would not take longer than 100 years. The reason why those small forces rarely dared to offend an extraordinary genius was because these geniuses not only have great persistence, but also an unlimited future. Their growth rate was far inferior. When you took one step, they had gone 3 steps and 4 steps already. They would soon grow to the point where the family had to look up to them. Those who chose to offend this kind of genius had to kill the genius before they mature. A dead genius would no longer be a genius, but one of the million corpses disposed like the natural selection process. For the Wu family, Yi Shiwen was almost out of control. Wu Qinhai finally regretted it now. If he made a move early and killed Yi Shiwen, even if it led to direct conflict with the Wang family, then the situation would be completely different by now. Anyway, direct confrontation with the Wang family would not kill off the whole family. However, letting Yi Shiwen grow further would lead to the annihilation of the entire family. But it was too late to regret now anyway. My elder brother, an ancient mirror appeared in Yi Ziwen's hand. Countless spiritual energy was absorbed in the direction of Tianyuan mirror. Boom! A blood pillar crashed down. Before Wu Qinhai finished speaking, the blood pillar landed on him, turning him into a cloud of blood mist on the spot. Tianyuan mirror then directly absorbed it. On the other side, Jiaqing saw Yi Shiwen pursue Wu Qinhai, and he was relieved. Immediately, anger raged intensely in his heart. He had already thought about it. He would find the brothers in the Sea Dragon Mansion to hunt Yi Shiwen down, tearing him into pieces to relinquish his anger. But before he could submerge deeper in his thought, he heard a sonic boom behind him. A figure quickly approached. As he probed with his spiritual senses, he was terrified. Yi Shiwen was swift, flickering at every distance. The terror had caught up. Jiaqing did not anticipate that Yi Shiwen would be so fast. Initially, when he watched Yi Shiwen chasing down Wu Qinhai, he thought that Yi Shiwen would not catch up with him. However, he did not expect that after Yi Shiwen hunted down Wu Qinhai, he would catch up with him. Yi Shiwen had never shown such a terrifying speed previously. Otherwise, Jiaqing would have doubted whether he dared to challenge him. But at this time, it was too late to say anything. Yi Ziwen's speed was getting faster and faster, his figure dashing right on the top of the sea surface. Boom! With a loud noise, Jiaqing also lost all vitality. Tranquility returned. Yi Shiwen did not continue to linger. Those bloody stench would attract many sea creatures. It was unwise to stay in this sea region for too long. Chapter 857. Chapter 857. Meeting Wang Mingyu again, Sunny Bamboo Island was a quite famous place in the entire Flourish Cloud Sea region. There was no other reason than the sunny bamboo on Sunny Bamboo Island. This bamboo that inhabited a unique environment was better than average fine iron. Many people would harvest them to make martial instruments or weapons. Due to the sunny bamboo, the entire Sunny Bamboo Island was more prosperous than South Initiate Island. When Yi Shiwen rushed to Sunny Bamboo Island, it took him 50 days even with the sea region map's guidance. Not only because the distance was far enough, but also because Yi Shiwen also encountered troublesome sea creatures. Occasionally, Yi Shiwen had to flee or make a detour when he saw these sea creatures in the distance. There was no other way. In the Endless Sea region, there were many places that even the North Mountain clan chief would be afraid to set foot, let alone Yi Shiwen. Fortunately, Yi Zaiwen's spiritual senses could explore up to a distance farther than the average person. So, Yi Shiwen could avoid all the threats. After these few days, Yi Shiwen finally had a deep impression about what kind of problems he would face in ancient barrens. Streaming light passed by in the sky. It appeared like a vast, gorgeous, and multicolored firework. Having said that the sunny bamboo island was an island, it had a huge area, almost like a small continent. Unlike South Initiate Island, the island had more than one city. The most famous and prosperous city was Sunny Bamboo City. This place is vibrant. It is incomparable with South Initiate Island. Yi Shiwen commented. Even in the true martial domain, there were not many cities equal to this Sunny Bamboo City. It had a completely different feeling from the previous life, when Yi Shiwen was on Earth. Unlike the time in South Initiate Island, Sunny Bamboo Island required spiritual stones payment as entrance fee. Fortunately, it only required one spiritual stone, not many. For Yi Shiwen, this was a drop in the bucket. With countless warriors coming and going every day, it would be an astronomical wealth. Yi Shiwen entered the city. He found a reasonably good inn and walked in. Immediately, the waiter from the shop stepped forward and said, "Guest, what do you want to order? Do you want to have a meal or have a stay in the inn? Give me both. Please help me with a good room. Serve some wine and food," said Yi Shiwen. "All right, please wait a moment." The waiter of the inn quickly went to arrange what was requested. "We have come in time. Recently, the Sunny Bamboo Island City Chamber of Commerce just bought a batch of good things and planned to hold an auction. We are in good luck to be here. Let's participate in the auction. If there is something good, we should go for it. When the Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion is opened, we may also get more benefits." Yes, someone has prospected the date when Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion will be opened. It should be quite recent. Some time ago, only some peripheral regions appeared, and there are already many treasures. This time, the Sunny Bamboo Island Chamber of Commerce held an auction, most likely because many people have obtained many benefits in the peripheral regions. They need to make use of their harvest. Yes, as the Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion opens, it attracts a lot of warriors to come. We want to get the major benefits, but what remains for us would make us bask in wealth. Yi Shiwen just sat down, and he heard the news about the auction held by Sunny Bamboo Island Chamber of Commerce and the opening of Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion. Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion? What kind of place is that? Yi Shiwen was a little bit confused. As the waiter came up and served the dish, Yi Shiwen stopped him. "Waiter, what is the Ash Gray Flame Cave Mansion?" they said. Yi Shiwen asked. "You must have come from a different place," the waiter said confidently. "Presumably, you also heard of our Sunny Bamboo." Yi Shiwen nodded. Indeed, Sunny Bamboo on Sunny Bamboo Island was famous. This is a unique bamboo to our Sunny Bamboo Island. This bamboo grows by absorbing the flames underground, the waiter said proudly. The reason that it nurtures is due to the underground of our island. They say it is the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave. However, this cave has not yet opened. Many experts find it hard to break in. Just recently, this ancient Holy Realm Dweller's Cave Mansion is about to open. Currently, the region near the cave mansion is opened. Many people have gained a lot of benefits in that region. Even the Sunny Bamboo Island Chamber of Commerce launches an auction to make use of the harvest. How do you know that the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave is about to open? Yi Shiwen asked. "I don't know. It's just the news spread around. They said that a senior who is proficient in 8 trigrams prediction had sensed the approaching opening of that place. Many people from other places rushed over. As I first saw you, I thought you came here to explore this ancient Holy Realm Dweller's Cave." The waiter talked freely in front of a stranger. He was at the Sage Realm. In the true martial domain, he would have high social standing. But in this Endless Sea region, he could only serve as a waiter. One could imagine how many experts were there in this ancient Baron's continent. "I see." Yi Shiwen pondered for a moment, and thoughts appeared in his mind. He was also interested in the rumored Holy Realm Dweller's Cave. Although he didn't know much about Holy Realm dwellers, at least a strong elite dwelled there previously. He had to go no matter what. May I ask if there is a sea region map of our Flourish Cloud Sea region for sale on this island? On sunny Bamboo Island, only the map engulfing nearby sea regions are sold. If you want the whole sea region maps, you probably have to go to Sea Dragon Island. Sea Dragon Island is the core of the Flourish Cloud Sea region. There must be a region, but I also heard a map would be auctioned. I don't know if that's what you wanted. If you have the time, take a look at the Sunny Bamboo Island auction. The waiter thought for a while and said, I see. This is for you. Yishuan took out a spirit crystal and threw it to the waiter, who thankfully retreated. In this ancient Baron's continent, there were too many masters, so the status of masters was far from that of true martial domain. In true martial domain, Sage Realm masters would have a high net worth and good social standing. But in this ancient Baron's continent, they were only classified at the bottom of society. Yi Shiwen did not think much as he passed the person a spirit crystal. Yi Shiwen, this is indeed a good opportunity. Although it might not be a Holy Realm dweller's cave, a powerful elite might have dwelled there, as the rumors say. Most of these cave mansions are left with their treasures. It doesn't hurt to take a trip, said Yimon. Yishuan nodded. He also realized that, in fact, in addition to the benefits, it must be accompanied by a lot of dangers. However, Yishuan understood that nothing ventured, nothing gained. But before that, I want to go to this Sunny Bamboo Island auction to see if there are any good items. I also want to visit this Chamber of Commerce to see if there is any sea region map in the Flourish Cloud Sea region for sale, said Yishuan. There were no satellites in this world. All maps were strategic resources. It was crafted with many manpower. Each map was precious since a hefty price must be paid to craft them. But for the current Yishuan, it was not a big deal. For him, Spirit Crystal was not only used for cultivation, but also equivalent to objects readied for barter. It would naturally be best if these crystals could be exchanged for something useful. Yishuan took a bite of the meal. Although the meal was expensive, it was worth the money. These meals were not ordinary. They were meals imbued with spiritual energy. After eating them habitually, it could slightly improve cultivation. Most importantly, it did not increase the impurities in the body. Human beings had been in constant contact with the external environment and accumulated impurities in the body since they were just born. Therefore, many people could not live for a long time. With the emergence of warriors, they constantly purify their body and keep their 5 major meridians unobstructed. But whether it was breathing ordinary air or eating, it contained impurities. These impurities seemed to be nothing, but it would affect the spiritual energy flow if they had accumulated too much. Generally speaking, the lesser the inborn impurities, the smarter the person. Many warriors with higher aptitude were quite taboo against eating and drinking. They thought that it would harm their cultivation critically. Hence, they would ban all these activities, living a life like a devoted monk. For Yi Shiwen, he heeded no concerns about it. He would dwell in the pleasure of eating without overthinking. As for those embedded impurities, he didn't care at all. His tyrant body scripture had cultivated to such a high level. Those impurities would be expelled from the body when Yi Shiwen cultivated, so there was no need to worry. However, although he was not worried, it was better to have these meals with spiritual energy than ordinary ones. After Yi Shiwen had eaten halfway, there was a series of footsteps. Yi Shiwen looked up and saw a group of people going straight up to the second floor. She wore a long skirt and beautiful eyebrows. She was none other than Wang Mingyu. Behind her was Wang Feiyun and a group of young experts from the Wang family. I'm not sure whether immortal and holy realm dwellers are referring to the same thing. There are a few chapters who seemingly make a distinction of both. I will just go with what my guts say. Chapter 858. Chapter 858. Scarlet Thunder Immortal Yi Shiwen was a little surprised. He didn't expect to meet these people from the Wang family again. Almost when Yi Shiwen spotted them, they also spotted Yi Shiwen. They were a little happy at the moment, but there weren't many surprises. Yi Shiwen came to Sunny Bamboo Island under Wang Mingji's guidance previously. Hence, they were not surprised at all. Brother Yi, I didn't expect that we will meet again. Wang Mingyu smiled slightly. She took the Wang family and sat down next door. Only then did she and Wang Feiyun come to Yi Zaiwen's side. Brother Yi, Wang Feiyun greeted, arching his hands. At this time, he was convinced of Yi Shiwen. In any case, he was far from being comparable with Yi Shiwen. He could only look up on Yi Shiwen. The slightest unhappiness at the beginning was now gone. It's a coincidence, but you came to sunny Bamboo Island, Yi Shiwen asked with some confusion. I heard that this time there will be an ancient Holy Realm Dweller's Cave on sunny Bamboo Island. So my father asked us to bring everyone here to gain experience. Wang Mingji's thin lips pressed lightly. If we can get something, then it is naturally better. It turned out that it was also about the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave. It seemed that this matter affected many people. Yi Shiwen kept thinking in his mind. If it were the ancient Holy Realm Dweller's Cave mansion, then those who stayed in the dark for a long time and surpassed Transcendent Realm would have already made a move. If the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave is opened, then I am afraid we will not have our turn to explore, said Yi Shiwen. Yes, but this is just rumors. Hence, before getting accurate confirmation, those veterans will not easily appear from close cultivation. Many people in enclosed cultivation are challenging the retribution, said Wang Mingyu. On the warrior path, almost every realm could increase the lifespan by a large amount. Until the Transcendent Realm, it directly increased the lifespan in tens of thousands of years. Therefore, the Transcendent Realm was also called Tenacious Realm 1, which meant eternal life without boundaries. The wish of many emperors in the mortal realm. But going further as cultivation increases again, the lifespan would no longer improve. Whether it was Transcendent Realm or a master who had surpassed the Transcendent Realm, the lifespan would only be 10,000 years, unless attaining Longevity Realm. Otherwise, one would have to face death coming from an insufficient lifespan. Not to mention that many people in ancient barons were already Transcendent Realm when they were a few hundred years old. The further their progress, the harder it was to cultivate. The time to cultivate almost doubled. In Transcendent Realm, there were many levels. 99% of people were facing the situation of insufficient life expectancy. They would find ways to break through or find treasures that would increase their lifespan. Even some people with insufficient qualifications faced the awkward situation that their life expectancy was about to reach the limits after the breakthrough of Transcendent Realm. So those old guys in close cultivation all the year round were in desperation. When there was no other way to improve their lifespan, it was only possible to extend their lifespan through breakthrough as soon as possible. No one wanted to die. The biggest goal of the martial artist path was to break the limits of the world and live forever. So unless it is determined that this is the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave, they only come out. After all, the so-called Holy Realm Dweller's Cave surfaces almost every few years. It is not unusual at all, said Wang Mingyu. Yi Shiwen also knew from her tone that she probably didn't take this Holy Realm Dweller's Dongfu statement to heart. There were many rumors like this every once in a while. No wonder. Yi Shiwen nodded. That's why our family hopes that we can have more experience, which will help our practice, said Wang Mingyu. Yi Shiwen nodded. He never felt that blind, close cultivation practice would be useful. The so-called reading 10,000 books were not as good as traveling 10,000 miles too. Some things were learned more effectively in personal experience. If Yi Shiwen had not experienced hardships, it would be impossible for him to improve his cultivation so quickly. Many things were only possible to understand in a momentary experience. It happens that Brother Yi is here. I wonder if Brother Yi is interested in the opening of the Holy Realm Dweller's Cave this time? Wang Mingji's eyes were bright. She looked at Yi Shiwen in anticipation. After listening to Wang Mingji's words, the eyes of the surrounding Wang's disciples suddenly lit up. They had seen Yi Zaiwen's strength with their own eyes. If Yi Shiwen could join their team, their risk factor would also be reduced. After all, no one knew what was in this Holy Realm Dweller's Cave mansion. Once there was any danger, they dared not say that they could defend themselves. The Transcendent Realm Masters were considered quite capable for many people, but they only just stepped onto the mainstream group for this world. Yi Shiwen thought for a while. He was also quite interested in this Holy Realm Dweller's Cave. Wouldn't it be better if someone more familiar could lead the way? Well, we can go be together, said Yi Shiwen. That's great. We will notify you when the cave mansion opens. Wang Mingyu smiled. With Yi Shiwen, it was naturally much safer. Is Brother Yi staying in this inn? Wang Mingyu asked. And Yi Shiwen nodded. If Brother Yi is free tomorrow, why not go to that sunny bamboo island auction together, said Wang Mingyu. Yi Shiwen didn't refuse since he was free. Isn't this Wang Mingyu? Your Wang family is also participating in this Holy Realm Dweller's Cave. A slightly sharp female voice came up from downstairs, and then a figure came up from the stairs. It was a woman with a hot figure. A light blue close-fitting dress made her proud figure more obvious. The facial features were exquisite and beautiful. Those enchanting eyes were also unforgettable. Yi Shiwen could feel that when the woman's figure appeared, the men on the second floor of the inn could not help but drool. Even Yi Shiwen was stunned a little, but then Mingxin's ancient tree emitted a burst of colorful light, pulling his senses back. He was a little surprised. He didn't expect this woman to be so beautiful that even he would lose himself for a short time. In fact, his heart was usually firm in his cultivation. Ordinary things couldn't shake his heart. Scarlet Thunder Immortal, I didn't expect to be able to see the young leader of the Scarlet Thunder Gang, Scarlet Thunder Immortal. This trip is worth it. Yes, Scarlet Thunder Immortal is as beautiful, just like the legend. I wonder how many young masters have fallen under her charm. If you can get intimate with her, I'm willing to die. Many people were whispering around. Yi Shiwen took another glance at the Scarlet Thunder Immortal. The Scarlet Thunder Gang was one of the 4 major forces on sunny Bamboo Island. Its status was almost equivalent to that of the 3 clans in the south in Initiate Island. This Scarlet Thunder Immortal was the Scarlet Thunder Gang's young leader, so her status on sunny Bamboo Island was apparent. Hearing this voice, Wang Mingjia's face suddenly became a little ugly. She bit her lips slightly and said, Demon Beast. What about I want to join, can it? Said Wang Mingyu unbendingly. Yi Shiwen had never seen this before. His impression of Wang Mingyu was always elegant and calm, but he didn't expect there was this side of her. It's good to join in too, but just don't die. Scarlet Thunder Immortal said with a smile, but her tone didn't sound like giving advice, but rather a faint threat. Even Yi Shiwen, an outsider who didn't know anything about the situation, figured out that the 2 women who were battling each other probably had many grudges. At this time, it was inconvenient for him to ask. After all, it had nothing to do with him. You don't have to be concerned about it. Wang Mingyu sneered with the flame in her eyes, unconcealed. Hey, little sister, it's not good to be so angry at a young age. Scarlet Thunder Immortal chuckled, then turned to Yi Shiwen and said, Is he also a member of your Wang family? TSK, has the Wang family been suppressed all these years? You even bring along a half-step transcendent realm? Yi Shiwen frowned. Initially, he didn't want to meddle in. This matter had nothing to do with him, but the Scarlet Thunder Immortals took the lead in offending him first. Busybody, said Yi Shiwen coldly. Of course, he knew that he was nothing in the eyes of Scarlet Thunder Immortal. She just wanted to use him to bully Wang Mingyu. Since she dared to humiliate him, he would not stay idle. Plus, he was not a good-tempered person to let the others humiliate him without retaliating. Scarlet Thunder Immortal's face stiffened. She didn't expect to receive such a blatant counterattack. It would be impossible to lose out to men with her charm, or to say those men did not want to be rude in front of beauty like her, as to not leaving a bad impression in her heart. But she did not expect someone like Yi Shiwen who disregarded her beauty. Seeing Scarlet Thunder Immortal forced to admit defeat, Wang Mingyu was immediately satisfied. Her impression of Yi Shiwen improved a lot. Not all men would shame her like this. Half-step transcendent realm. It's probably not bad at your age. In the eyes of many people, it's still far inferior, said Scarlet Thunder Immortal coldly. Her coquettish attitude had all disappeared. Does it have anything to do with you? Or are your Scarlet Thunder Gang all so nosy? Sneered Yi Shiwen. 1. It is not a power realm, but a name that the folks gave. 2. Reading books all day without practical experience is not helpful. Chapter 859. Chapter 859. The auction begins, presumptuous. Scarlet Thunder isn't someone you can slander. Scarlet Thunder Immortal's face changed drastically. Her white palm slashed towards Yi Shiwen like lightning. Scarlet Thunder Immortal's hand chop carried a faint sound of thunder. It was so swift, and it bombarded in front of Yi Shiwen instantly. Although she didn't use Qi, her attack launched with lightning speed. If Yi Shiwen were just an ordinary half-step transcendent realm, he would be killed on the spot. If she were to be merciful, he would be fatally injured. It was conceivable how evil Scarlet Thunder Immortal was. Boom! With a muffled crash, Scarlet Thunder Immortal's extremely fast palm was directly blocked by a fist. Shockwaves radiated out, and Yi Shiwen remained motionless. Except for the Wang family, everyone was a little startled. They never expected such a result. In their imagination, Yi Shiwen would dodge it in embarrassment or even be bombarded to death on the spot. After all, Scarlet Thunder Immortal had a long-standing reputation. I'm not mistaken, right? That person isn't blasted afar. Someone finally spoke up, but he appeared inexplicable to the situation. Impossible. Even if Scarlet Thunder Immortal didn't use all her strength, she is already a Transcendent Realm 4th level expert. Among the young experts of the Flourished Cloud Sea region, she ranked in the top 100. How could this half-step Transcendent Realm brat receive this attack? Everyone was surprised. Scarlet Thunder Immortal had a long-standing reputation and was famous for a long time, especially at sunny Bamboo Island. It was rare that she had failed to defeat Yi Shiwen in one blow. Not only was everyone surprised, but even Scarlet Thunder Immortal herself was astonished too. She knew her strength very well. Even though she did not exert her full strength, it was not something an ordinary Transcendent Realm expert could achieve, let alone a half-step Transcendent Realm warrior. Without entering the Transcendent Realm, the gap was like heaven and earth. But it also made her realize that this half-step Transcendent Realm brat might be extraordinary. Yi Shiwen was unfazed, but he was secretly wary. This Scarlet Thunder Immortal was more potent than he imagined. Her Transcendent Realm 4th level strength was real. If he were an ordinary half-step Transcendent Realm, he would be dead on the spot. She didn't use all her strength. Otherwise, even Yi Shiwen would have avoided her attack. Compared with the Transcendent Realm experts, he still had a lot of gaps to catch up with. So, this is a Flourished Cloud Sea region's expert rank in the top 100. Yi Zaiwen's mouth raised slightly. In fact, this list did not have much official authority. It was just folks saying. However, everyone on the list was well known in the entire Flourished Cloud Sea region. Over time, people had gradually acquiesced to the existence of this list. Even many people judge whether a person had potential based on the information published on this list. Scarlet Thunder Immortal was only ranked in the top 100. Her cultivation had already entered the Transcendent Realm 4th level. For the young experts in the Flourished Cloud Sea region, Yi Shiwen was not even qualified to be included. But what happened also made Yi Shiwen a little interesting. However, the strength of the opponent was much greater than Yi Shiwen. In terms of physique, Yi Shiwen would not lose out. Instead, he would faintly gain the upper hand. Faced with Scarlet Thunder Immortal's assault, he was undefeated and even showed signs of him being more superior. But he was not narcissistic enough to think that he could defeat Scarlet Thunder Immortal with this advantage. Yi Shiwen didn't bother her further. Even if she tried her best, she couldn't deal with Yi Shiwen. At least to escape, he was confident with it. No wonder you dare to speak boldly at a young age. It turns out that you're quite capable. Scarlet Thunder Immortal looked at Yi Shiwen and said coldly. However, it was precisely because the physical contest could not prevail. She did not continue. Although her strength was not at the physical body, she had a high rank among the same cultivation level experts. She could not gain the upper hand in the face of Yi Shiwen. What made it terrifying was that Yi Shiwen was not a Transcendent Realm expert, but just a half-step Transcendent Realm expert. Her emotions were a little erratic. She couldn't figure out Yi Zaiwen's limit. She then smiled slightly and giggled. But you shouldn't talk nonsense like that. Otherwise, you may die terribly. After speaking, Scarlet Thunder Immortal quickly left, leaving everyone with a beautiful back. Demon Beast! Wang Mingyu looked at her back and said, rather uncomfortably. In the inn, many men stared at Scarlet Thunder Immortal leaving. Slowly, they retracted their gaze. Brother Yi, I didn't expect that you were already so good. Scarlet Thunder Immortal is ranked top 100 in our entire Flourish Cloud Sea region. Her cultivation standing at Transcendent Realm 4th level made her superior to small clan chiefs and small families' masters. Yet, you can be on equal footing with her, said Wang Feiyun in disbelief. Scarlet Thunder Immortal. She deemed Yi Shiwen unique to other men, recognizing his outstanding strength. He was already quite strong in her heart, but she never expected him to be on equal footing with Scarlet Thunder Immortal, who had been famous for many years. This time, it completely overthrew her perception of Yi Shiwen. She always thought that she had seen his limits when she witnessed him making a move. The reality would always say otherwise. She didn't give it all, said Yi Shiwen unabashedly. He did not plan to use this as a way to boast himself. If she gave it all, I would be outmatched. Even so, Brother Yi is quite powerful. Although the demon beast spirit is annoying, she is strong, Wang Mingyu interjected. Just like Wang Feiyun, although she hated Scarlet Thunder Immortal deep down her heart, she had to admit her superior strength. But it shone Yi Shiwen even brighter. What's the matter? You seem to have a grudge with her. Yi Shiwen asked. Upon mentioning it, Wang Mingjia's face suddenly turned ugly. At this time, Wang Feiyun said unexpectedly, this matter goes way back to 100 years ago. At that time, Mingjia's mother was seriously ill and urgently needed a kind of spiritual herb to save her life. However, Scarlet Thunder Immortal snatched it away in the end. Her mother's life can't be saved. Since then, she has become an unwelcome person in our Wang family. However, the Scarlet Thunder Gang is a superior force. We can't do anything about it. Yi Shiwen saw Wang Mingjia's beautiful eyes glimmer with unforgettable hatred, which Yi Shiwen had never seen before. It seemed that this incident had a significant impact on her. With the Scarlet Thunder Immortal disturbing the peace, everyone in the Wang family didn't chat much. Soon after eating something, they got a few rooms in this inn and stayed. Yi Shiwen did not continue to question and went back to his room. There are more experts in the Flourish Cloud Sea region than I thought. I didn't expect Scarlet Thunder Immortal on sunny Bamboo Island alone to be so powerful, let alone the experts in Sea Dragon Mansion. Yi Shiwen sat cross-legged on the bed and said with some excitement in his tone, she is at the Transcendent Realm 4th level peak. You can't defeat her in your current cultivation unless you ascend to the Transcendent Realm. Said Yi Mo, when this auction is over, I will immediately find a place to cross the Transcendent Realm Retribution. At that time, I can compete with the Scarlet Thunder Immortal, replied Yi Shiwen. The Scarlet Thunder Immortal's appearance had seemingly widened Yi Ziwen's horizon. There were many tyrannical experts in the Flourished Cloud Sea region. It was an excellent motivator for Yi Shiwen to speed up his cultivation progress. Compared with them, Yi Ziwen's progress was way behind. He was not even a Transcendent Realm expert. It might not seem like a big deal. However, when Yi Shiwen faced the elite young experts, it would be fatal. After all, not attaining Transcendent Realm was just as literal as it was. His strength could not make up the cultivation realm's gap. Especially with the Holy Realm Dweller's cave opening, senior experts surpassing the Transcendent Realm might appear. At the very least, many young experts would be attracted. If Yi Shiwen couldn't attain the Transcendent Realm, he would suffer terribly. And although it appears that there are many young experts in this endless sea region, the ancient Barrens continent is the world center. The geniuses are mainly nurtured there. Many monstrous competitors stay active there. That's the place you belong to. Only a duel with those fearless geniuses can speed up your cultivation progress, said Yi Mo. There was also the mystery with Yi Ziwen's origin. Sooner or later, he had to find out about it to fulfill the Boda's previous predecessor's last wish. Otherwise, this last wish would be the biggest obstacle to his cultivation. The so-called incomplete self. The day passed by quickly. Early in the morning of the next day, many experts flocked to sunny Bamboo City, due to the sunny bamboo chamber of commerce's auction. Streamers of light were everywhere, dashing through the sky, then landing outside the city. They all chose to walk into the city. The city became even more crowded. Although almost everyone possessed martial arts in ancient barons with high cultivation, many warriors would be exploring various relics and hunting for celestial material treasures in the depths of the Endless Sea region. It was rare to see these warriors swarm the sunny bamboo island. Even Yi Shiwen saw the Sea Clan experts swooping in midair. They were quite arrogant, which aroused many human clan experts' unpleasantness. But there was no one taking the first move to teach these Sea Clan experts a lesson. Chapter 860. Chapter 860. Emergence of experts. In addition to the Sea Clan being a stronger force, the most important reason was that each of these Sea Clan experts possessed unique skills. Within the same realm, it was difficult for a human clan expert to be their opponent. Yi Shiwen and the Wang family gathered under the restaurant. Unexpectedly, this time, even many Sea Clan experts have come. I am afraid it will be even more difficult to get what we want. Wang Mingyu frowned. Things would become more complicated once the Sea Clan participated. All human experts knew that, but they couldn't do anything with these Sea Clan experts. Human clans indeed had many experts. On the ancient Barons continent, if every human worked together, they could crush any Sea Clans in an overwhelming victory. However, humans had scattered all around the world and divided into many individual forces. As a result, humans were at a disadvantage facing any Sea Clan. Naturally, humans had not much confidence too. There is no other way. The Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion is unlike other Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion, which opens directly. Instead, it opens the outer areas first. After it has been open for some time, these Sea Clan experts will rush over as the news reaches them. Wang Feiyun sighed. Any human clan didn't have a good impression of those ferocious Sea Clans. Of course, not all Sea Clans were like this. Many Sea Clans befriended the human clan, but in general, humans still didn't have a good impression of the Sea Clan. But no matter what, these have nothing to do with us. We are only going to explore treasures in the surrounding areas. There shouldn't be any conflicts with these top experts, said Wang Mingyu. Many experts from the Wang family nodded. Although they were all Transcendent Realm experts, they are still too weak compared to the upcoming masters. The Wang family group could only be regarded as an ordinary team. Having the leverage to explore the surrounding area was already not bad for them. If they were to enter the core areas, it could be their demise. They knew quite well of their limits. Let's go, said Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen and the Wang family headed straight to the Sunny Bamboos auction house in the city center. Along the way, they saw many warriors heading in the same direction as them. Transcendent Realm experts were everywhere. Yi Ziwen's team was not eye-catching in any way. The Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's auction house was magnificent, seemingly flaunting their abundance of wealth. Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce declared their superiority blatantly with its richly ornamented building. The carved beams had all accentuated Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's resources too. Concurrent with this auction, Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's financial resources shocked many warriors from more remote areas. In this noisy crowd, two women were particularly eye-catching. One of them was none other than Scarlet Thunder Immortal, who had clashed with Yi Shiwen previously. The other one was a tall woman in purple. Different from Scarlet Thunder Immortal's charm, this purple-clothed woman was extraordinarily dignified and elegant. She was on equal standing of beauty, but had a completely different charm. Scarlet Thunder Immortal and her had their unique appeal. Scarlet Thunder Immortal and Miss Yao are getting more and more beautiful. Both of them have outstanding quality. It is worthy of being the two beauties of Sunny Bamboo Island. Even in the entire Flourish Cloud Sea region, they are well-known beauties. Indeed, not only are they beautiful, but most importantly, they are all strong. They may be future leaders on our Sunny Bamboo Island. I don't know who will get to marry them in the future. Those who achieve that would save efforts up to 2,000 years. Scarlet Thunder Immortal will be the future leader of the Scarlet Thunder Gang. Miss Yao will also be the future president of the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. They are both influential figures on Sunny Bamboo Island. People in their surroundings were whispering. Miss Yao, Yi Shiwen asked Wang Mingyu next to her. But Yi Shiwen felt slightly emotional. Whether it was Scarlet Thunder Immortal or Miss Yao, he had never underestimated them. Even in ancient Baron's mainland, it was quite difficult for a woman to get ahead. It was even more challenging to become an influential figure leading a force. That Miss Yao is named Yao Qian. She is the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce chairman's daughter. At her young age, she had outstanding strength. She was well known in the Flourish Cloud Sea region, in particular her beauty. Coupled with the demon beast, they are the two beauties of Sunny Bamboo Island. Are you interested? Wang Mingyu looked at Yi Shiwen teasingly. Not really, but she is strong. Yi Shiwen just looked at Yao Qian and said. He could vaguely feel that Yao Qian was more potent than Scarlet Thunder Immortal. It was almost instinctive, possibly Star Beast instinct. Of course, she is strong. Among the young experts in the Flourish Cloud Sea region, she ranks 35th. She has both solid strength and distinguished beauty. You must be a foreigner. Not far from Yi Shiwen, a man looked at Yi Shiwen as if he was a bumpkin and said with a slightly triumphant expression, 35th? Yi Shiwen was a little surprised. He just felt that Yao Qian might be strong but didn't expect Yao Qian to be so strong. Scarlet Thunder Immortal only ranks in the top 100. Why is Yao Qian ranked so much higher than Scarlet Thunder Immortal? Yi Shiwen looked at Wang Mingyu. Wang Mingyu was not surprised. Yi Shiwen was not a member of the Flourish Cloud Sea region. It was not surprising he did not know many things that everyone knows. If Yi Shiwen knew, that would be odd. There are countless geniuses in the Flourished Cloud Sea region. Those who can rank in the top 100 are the best among the younger generation, so the gap between them is quite small. Those between rank 90th to rank 100 are in the same power realm, with only a slight difference amongst all of them, said Wang Mingyu. Yi Shiwen could imagine it too. Although Wang Feiyun was also Transcendent Realm First Level in South Initiate Island, he was much better than other ordinary Transcendent Realm First Level. Wang Mingyu and Wu Chenhai were much better than Wang Feiyun. Even if they were to be at the same level, the gap in strength was huge. Miss Yao had a stronger aura than Scarlet Thunder Immortal. After Yi Shiwen integrated with the Star Beast bloodline power, he had become extremely sensitive to these auras. I have not seen the two Mews for a long time. After the last banquet, we have not seen each other for a full 10 years. The two muses are still graceful as ever. A clear voice came from not far away. It came from a handsome man in a yellow robe. The young man walked out and said with a smile on his face, "It turns out to be Master Qi. It's been a long time since I've seen you. You're graceful as ever." Scarlet Thunder Immortal winked. Those who didn't know her would think she was interested in themselves. But the yellow-robed young man was familiar with Scarlet Thunder Immortal. Although the beauty was on his side, he also knew that Scarlet Thunder Immortal's usual mannerism was. If she were not like this, it would be surprising. Qidong, I didn't expect you to be interested in the opening of Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion this time. It seems that you're well prepared. Miss Yao spoke. Her voice was sweet, like a silver chime. I'm just here to join in the fun. Both muses are the host here. Please take care of me by then. Qidong laughed loudly. He was gracious when facing the two famous beauties. Qidong, I didn't expect even him to be attracted here. Wang Mingyu exclaimed. When she saw Yi Shiwen puzzled, she explained, Qidong is outstanding among the younger generations. He ranks above Yao Qian at 32nd. Another young expert. Yi Shiwen silently noted down the name. Qidong's aura was almost the same as Yao Qian's, though he was superior to Scarlet Thunder Immortal. It's just a matter of our capability. Take all you want if you can. Yao Qian just said indifferently, as if she didn't care about Qidong very much. Muse Yao. You're the same as always despite not seeing you for many years. Qidong didn't mind Yao Qian's curt reply. He was aware of their status as the two beauties of Sunny Bamboo Island. Maybe we're not the protagonist during the opening of the Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion. Qidong laughed and said, the Sea Clan brothers, aren't you also quite interested? It's great that you are still self-aware. This Holy Realm Dweller's mansion is at the sea bottom. Of course, it belongs to our sea clan. Your clan better not intervene. Otherwise, death and injury are inevitable. At this time, a slightly hoarse voice came from not far away. A middle-aged man with a gloomy face approached quickly. His face was a bit lean. He had an aquiline nose. A seemingly sinister air engulfed him. Another Sea clan expert. Yi Shiwen could sense a completely different aura from this middle-aged man, utterly different from human beings. On temperature alone, one would think this middle-aged man was already dead. The temperature on his body was only 10 degrees. This middle-aged man should be a cold-blooded creature. Bai Chunwan, TSK, I don't expect to see you here. I thought you're a coward dog fleeing from Jade Shadow, Sea Snake Clan's pursuit. You even dare to appear here. Aren't you afraid of being hunted by your kin once they got news about it? Chi Dong just smiled faintly. The middle-aged man's face immediately stiffened. It was apparent that Chi Dong's words had struck his sore spot. Is he Bai Chun? Another fierce figure. Do you know this Baikin? Could it be that some powerful character in the Sea clan? He is not strong, but he is famous for our generation. They said that he stole a treasure of his clan and escaped. His own kin has been pursuing tightly. He even killed his kin, who hunts him. He is ruthless. One Bai means jade. The literal meaning of Bai Chun is jade dust. Chapter 861. Chapter 861. Is Yi Shiwen the murderer? The people of Jade Shadow Sea Snake Clan are looking for his whereabouts everywhere now. What is he planning to do, blatantly appearing in this place? The Jade Shadow Sea Snake Clan will get news of this soon. Some people could hardly believe that the famous Bai Chun was like a bereaved dog. He dared not to stay in one place for a long time. Suddenly, there was a loud voice saying, "He is under me, Crown Prince Crocodile. Who dares to hurt him?" Everyone was shocked as they looked up, only to see a looming tall figure above a tea house nearby. A sturdy aura was looming around the tea house. Many people even gasped in shock. What? This time, even the Crown Prince Crocodile is here. No wonder this Bai Chun dares to appear so daringly. This Crown Prince Crocodile is a lawless character. He is the youngest family master of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. If he speaks to protect Bai Chun, then who dares to make a move on Bai Chun? Even if the people from the Jade Shadow Sea Snake Clan come, it's useless. Yeah, I didn't expect that there's such a lawless character. The Holy Realm Dweller's mansion even attracted a fierce figure like him. I'm afraid there is nothing much left for us. I'm not reconciled. It is obvious that the Holy Realm Dweller's mansion belongs to human ancestors. It is now actually going to fall into the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's hands. Someone said unwillingly. There is nothing that can be done. Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan has the greatest power in this area. Even the various forces on Sunny Bamboo Island don't want to offend the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. Even in the entire flourished Cloud Sea region, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan is also the top 3 sea clan. This was the second time Yi Shiwen heard about the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. No wonder Yi Xiangtian wanted to use the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's name to threaten him. It turned out that this Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan had such great forces in the nearby sea region, deterring many experts. With only a name, it was enough to scare everyone. It was a pity since Yi Shiwen didn't know anything. Yi Xiangshan's previous act was just like vain efforts. Even knowing that the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was so powerful, Yi Shiwen hadn't regretted it. For him, no matter how strong the opponent was, it did not make much of a difference. If Yi Xiangtian wanted to take his life, he would kill Yi Xiangtian instead. It was as simple as that. But now that Yi Shiwen learned about the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan, he had to be careful in the future. Anyway, if Crown Prince Crocodile protects Bai Chun, then Jade Shadow Sea Snake Clan will not give up. There will be a war again. It will be great if the sea clans fight among themselves, someone said with a smile. It is impossible for a war to break out. Even the Jade Shadow Sea Snake clan will not fight the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan just because of Bai Chun. At this time, the Crown Prince Crocodile, sitting high above the tea house, said again, I rushed back from the outer region this time. I heard that a Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan member was beheaded some time ago. I came back personally to investigate it. If anyone has news to provide, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan will offer a great reward. What? Someone dares to kill the people of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan? No way. Who doesn't know that the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan is the overlord of this sea region? There are not many people who dare to provoke them. Could it be another sea clan overlord? It's hard to say. It may be from our human clan. Is there no lawless character among us? Most likely, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan member offended someone and got killed. That's true. This has nothing to do with us. We'd better not meddle in. After all, people who dare to kill the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan are daring. The person must have extraordinary strength, great talent, and daring. The power behind the person must be shocking. Indeed. Yi Zaiwen's expression turned cold. There was a slight change in his expression. The others might not know, but he did. The deceased Crown Prince Crocodile mentioned should be Yi Xiangtian. Unexpectedly, he killed Yi Xiangtian and alerted even the Crown Prince Crocodile of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. This doesn't make sense. At best, Yi Xiangtian was just an ordinary Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. It was not enough to cause the Crown Prince Crocodile to be alarmed. This showed that even the top levels of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan might be disturbed. That Yi Xiangtian might involve many things and people. Yi Shiwen, you have to be careful. In case the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan suspects you, then you probably should flee again. Yi Mo reminded. This may not be the worst scenario. If Yi Xiangtian is the helper invited by Wu family, then Wu family will know that Yi Xiangtian perished in your hands when they saw that Yi Xiangtian did not return. This Crown Prince Crocodile is now searching for the murderer in public eyes. The Wu family will go to inform them. By that time, your trouble will come. Yi Shiwen gave it some thought. The possibility of the Wu family's whistleblowing was basically 100%. He would not even believe that the Wu family would not do so. In other words, he would soon be facing the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's pursuit. As the local overlord, there were many experts among the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. Besides, there were countless clans attached to him. At that time, Yi Shiwen would have nowhere to go. Not to mention those experts who surpassed the Transcendent Realm. An expert in the Transcendent Realm's 7th level would be enough to kill him. Well, when this auction is over, I will leave immediately after exploring the Holy Realm Dweller's cave mansion, said Yi Shiwen. Although the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was the local overlord, they were not the only overlord. At least forces like the Sea Dragon Mansion were not afraid of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. This place was within the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's territory, so they dared to be arrogant. Once they left to another sea region, they dared not to be so arrogant. As long as the Crocodile clan did not make a big move, Yi Shiwen was confident that he could escape if he only faced an ordinary expert. It was getting more and more dangerous here. He had to go. Huh? A questioning voice came from Crown Prince Crocodile's mouth. Suddenly, a terrifying aura swept down, which instantly enveloped Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen only felt that he was facing a ferocious prehistoric behemoth, which made him feel breathless. However, his body seemed to be awakened from this challenge immediately. Divinity was instantly resurrected, quietly crawling into the inner skin of Yi Shiwen, resisting the monstrous aura. The Star Beast's bloodline power in Yi Zaiwen's body was also instantly alerted. As a vicious Star Beast that could compete with Dragon Clan, how could it allow such a low-level aura to act on its own body? It was just about to retaliate with Star Beast's aura instinctively, but Yi Shiwen suppressed it immediately. Even at this time, what's the use of retaliating with aura back and forth? The Crown Prince Crocodile was too terrifying. Among the younger generation, there were not many distinguished characters like him. If Yi Shiwen angered Crown Prince Crocodile, the consequences were merely unimaginable. He couldn't determine this Crown Prince Crocodile's strength at all, but the only thing he could know was that Crown Prince Crocodile was probably far above the previous young masters. Yi Shiwen, it's not good that you're locked down. Be careful if the situation changes. Run away immediately. Yimo reminded. Yi Shiwen suddenly felt that the blood flow all over his body was not smooth. Fortunately, the pressure was quickly offset by divinity, but he was still motionless. It seemed that he was frightened by the pressure on the surface and couldn't even move at all. Yi Shiwen had secretly mobilized his qi, preparing his demon wings to escape at any time. It was just a little strange in his heart on why this Crown Prince Crocodile suddenly made a move at him. Besides him, everyone in the Wong family and some warriors around could not withstand this terrifying aura at all. They were directly blasted away by the shock. Everyone was stupefied, looking at the Crown Prince Crocodile, who suddenly went berserk. Even if he was the young master of the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, he couldn't go berserk like this without reasons. If he wanted to deal with the human clan young masters, he would need an explanation. Although the strength of human clans was scattered, they had superb experts. If there was no superb expert who deterred other clans, the existence of human clans in the Endless Sea region might be wiped out long ago. In Sunny Bamboo City, there were many experts, including those who could contend with Crown Prince Crocodile. Under normal circumstances, even if he were aggressive, he would not be so unwise. Yao Qian, with frowning eyebrows, was about to berate Crown Prince Crocodile, but he heard Crown Prince Crocodile saying coldly, "When I spoke just now, your face changed a bit. You must know something, right?" Of course, Crown Prince Crocodile did not suspect that Yi Shiwen killed Yi Xiantian. Yi Xiantian was a Transcendent Realm 3rd level. Yi Shiwen was just a half-step Transcendent Realm. He would not believe that Yi Shiwen killed Yi Xiantian. However, Yi Shiwen seemed to know the answer. Otherwise, he would not have such an expression when he heard this. Everyone was stunned. It turned out that it was because of the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan being killed. Everyone looked at Yi Shiwen. Could this kid be related to the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan being killed? If so, then this kid was too bold. Vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan might not be uncontrollable. There were also human experts, but the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan was still strong. No one would want to provoke them. Otherwise, there would be a lot of trouble. Is this kid related to this matter? Chapter 862. Chapter 862. The crisis is temporarily resolved, of course. Like Crown Prince Crocodile, they did not think that Yi Shiwen beheaded Yi Xiantian, but he might have something to do with this. Everyone looked at Yi Shiwen. Initially, he was just a half-step Transcendent Realm. It was impossible to attract their attention. But at this time, he attracted everyone's attention. Among them, in addition to the few members of the Wong family, only Scarlet Thunder Immortal, who clashed against Yi Shiwen once, knew that Yi Zaiwen's half-step Transcendent Realm was not as simple as it seemed. Although it was only half-step Transcendent Realm, it was not just half-step Transcendent Realm. Although she didn't try her best at the time, that shouldn't be what a regular half-step Transcendent Realm warrior could do. Speak up. I may spare your life. Crown Prince Crocodile yelled violently. It affected everyone to the soul. It brought great deterrence. If Yi Shiwen were just an ordinary half-step Transcendent Realm warrior, the shock would make him a retard on the spot. The Crown Prince Crocodile disregarded Yi Zaiwen's life at all. He wanted Yi Shiwen to speak out while he was in a trance. This method was supposedly effective, but the one affected had to pay the price, turning into a retard on the spot. Crown Prince Crocodile's ruthlessness could be seen. He would not let Yi Shiwen go in any case. It was only a matter of whether Yi Shiwen died with body parts intact or not. When the spiritual attack surged forward, The Mingxin ancient tree immediately emitted bursts of colorful divine light to engulf Yi Zaiwen's spiritual sea, preventing Yi Shiwen from being directly bombarded into an idiot. Crown Prince Crocodile, do you think there is no else from our human clan? Do you think you can kill whoever you want to kill? Then, there was a clear voice. A ray of sword aura pierced the vast sky, dispersing the attack approaching Yi Zaiwen's head. Unparalleled sword. You dare to stop me? Crown Prince Crocodile yelled. He had never been stopped like this before, and he immediately became angry. Crown Prince Crocodile's eyes shot two spiritual rays, shimmering in the void. A figure slowly emerged, but it was a tall young man with an ordinary face. He seemed sharp. His eyebrows were diagonal to the temple, like two long flying swords. In those eyes, it looked like countless sword chis were being nurtured in it. He's a sword master. Yi Shiwen made a judgment in his heart immediately. Unlike ordinary experts, sword masters often had a bit of sword aura on them. Sword Dao itself was an extreme martial art. Some people even used their avatars to reach the advanced state of Sword Dao. The person would appear sharp. If one were to close his eyes and didn't look at a sword master, the perception feedback would tell him that it was a sword floating in the sky. "Why don't I dare?" said the young man plainly. Unparalleled sword aura had faintly condensed. His momentum was compelling and unbending. "Do you know that this person is related to the killing of my vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan? You are doing this against our entire clans," said Crown Prince Crocodile coldly, his voice like a vicious beast roaring. "Forget that there is no evidence pointing that it has anything to do with him. Even if it happens, it isn't a big deal. How many people of my clan die at the hands of your vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan every year? Are your vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan so precious that they aren't to be killed?" Unparalleled Sword raised his eyebrows slightly. There was an unscrupulous arrogance to it. "Yay, well said. What's the matter? It is already dead." Everyone present felt a thrill in their hearts. Yup, what is not lacking in this endless sea region? Many people die every year. It's not surprising that hundreds of experts die a day. What is strange about being dead? You can't die just because it is your vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. All human experts present felt a sense of exhilaration. Every time they collided with these sea clans, they would cower. In this complex and endless deep sea, taking a wrong step might cause the entire force to be wiped out. But there were always unscrupulous people, just like the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. They did not want to have a life and death war if various human forces. But the Crown Prince Crocodile was still unscrupulous and domineering. There were not many such characters in any clan group. "Great, unparalleled sword, unparalleled sword." Crown Prince Crocodile sneered. "Do you dare to leave the city and have a fight?" Crown Prince Crocodile had not lost his senses yet and resolved their grievances in this city. "Why don't I dare?" Unparalleled Sword just said faintly. He then stepped on a martial sword rainbow under his feet and quickly moved towards a distance. Crown Prince Crocodile followed, wrapped in a black light, and chased directly. Seeing Crown Prince Crocodile chasing out, everyone was relieved. However, the pressure on Yi Shiwen did not decrease. He had no intention to be high profile, but the fact was that countless people's eyes were all looking at him. "Brat, does the death of our clan member have something to do with you? Who killed our clan member?" A louder voice appeared above the tea house. A sharp gaze took over Crown Prince Crocodile and locked at Yi Shiwen. Everyone looked at the source. It was another young expert from the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. Although he was not as intimidating as Crown Prince Crocodile, he was not inferior to Bai Chun. Someone recognized this young expert from the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, Yi Ying. Compared with Crown Prince Crocodile, Yi Ying was even more famous. Crown Prince Crocodile had been fighting outside the Flourish Cloud Sea region most of the time. Yi Ying was second to Crown Prince Crocodile. He was relatively young, and yet had gained a lot of fame. Almost the same attitude as Crown Prince Crocodile. Looking at Yi Shiwen coldly, as if looking at a dead person. The eyes of the human experts in the surrounding people suddenly changed. This vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan was too rude and unreasonable. Without any evidence, they would grab anyone as they like. The human experts found it unacceptable. As the protagonist, Yi Shiwen was alerted like a cheetah. He might launch an attack at any time. Yi Shiwen sighed. It seemed that he had to flee before the Holy Realm Dweller's mansion opened. The Crown Prince Crocodile would not be able to deal with him. If it weren't the unparalleled sword driving Crown Prince Crocodile away, Yi Shiwen had probably fled already. Ying, what do you want to do? Yao Qian said all of a sudden while staring at Ying upstairs. This person has a lot of suspicions related to the person who killed my clan members. Ying looked at Yao Qian and said unyieldingly, he is now a guest of my sunny bamboo chamber of commerce. We will not let him be taken away by you, said Yao Qian plainly. Yi Shiwen also looked at Yao Qian in amazement, wondering why Yao Qian suddenly spoke up for him. Was it really because he was a guest? What a joke. He hadn't stepped into the auction yet. How could he be counted as a guest? Does your sunny bamboo chamber of commerce want to cause troubles? Ying asked coldly. Although my sunny bamboo chamber of commerce adheres to the principle of making money with harmony, we're not cowards. We don't like to stir up any issues, but it doesn't mean that we won't get serious. Yao Qian did not give in, as if she had made up her mind to protect Yi Shiwen. Many people around also looked at Yao Qian, baffled. They did not know what happened to her. Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce was a substantial force and had business deals in the entire flourished Cloud Sea region. However, there was still a significant gap compared to a behemoth like the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. However, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan would not wage war with Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce just because of this trivial matter. However, some people nod their heads as if they knew why. Ying stared at Yao Qian fiercely, but in the end, he didn't stick to his stance. After all, he was not Crown Prince Crocodile. He could not act lawlessly even if he wanted to. Besides, Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, even Crown Prince Crocodile would be wary too. At this time, Yao Qian insisted on saving Yi Shiwen. He could not do anything about it. You can't protect him forever. There is no one escaping from the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan, said Ying coldly. You are not qualified to represent the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan, said Yao Qian mercilessly. Ying's face suddenly turned sour, but Yao Qian was right. Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce was undoubtedly not as scary as the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. Still, the problem was that he was not qualified to make any decisions on behalf of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. On the other hand, Yao Qian could. Based on this alone, he had no way to deal with Yao Qian. You will regret it, said Ying coldly. Whether I regret it or not is something in the future. If you have nothing else, then be gone. Our Chamber of Commerce auction will begin soon. Yao Qian didn't want to talk nonsense to him. Ying snorted and flew down directly from the tea house. Behind him were some young experts of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. They entered the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce directly. They were not affected by the conflict with Yao Qian just now. They were still quite realistic. Abandoning this auction brought no interest. Even the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce people did not refuse the entry of Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan's experts because of the previous incident. It was as though the previous incident was just a dream, like it did not exist. After these Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts entered, other experts, including Bai Chun, also went in. Brother Yi, are you all right? Wang Mingyu asked. I'm fine. Yi Shiwen shook his head and smiled. For ordinary people, the pressure coming from spiritual senses just now was enough to leave him with indelible flaws in his mind. However, it was not an issue for Yi Shiwen. Let's head in too. And the Wang family experts nodded one after another and walked in with Yi Shiwen. When Yi Shiwen passed by Yao Qian, he took a step forward. Thank you, Muse Yao, for saving my life. No thanks. I'm not doing it for you. Yao Qian just said plainly without much change in expression. Chapter 863. Chapter 863. With burning saber technique, Yi Shiwen didn't say much and walked straight in. Although he was a little baffled, he thought it made sense. If Yao Qian went against the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's members for him, it would be unreasonable. We don't know each other. I'm not an idol that can make her fall in love at first sight. Yi Shiwen and the Wang family entered the sunny bamboo auction house. Wang Minji's voice suddenly came from his back. I heard that Muse Yao likes the unparalleled sword. With just this sentence, it became as clear as day. Yi Shiwen came into realization. In this case, there was involvement with somebody connected. Unparalleled sword protected Yi Shiwen with reason unbeknownst to Yao Qian, thus giving her the motive to help Yi Shiwen. But this series of events made Yi Shiwen feel a bit resigned, a deep sense of powerlessness. Crown Prince Crocodile suspected that he was related to Yi Xiangshan's death. He just decided to kill Yi Shiwen without proper reason, just like trampling an ant to death. Crown Prince Crocodile might have killed someone innocent. It was even possible that he found Yi Shiwen unpleasant to the eyes. He would kill anyone with just having a doubt. As for the unparalleled sword, his rescue of Yi Shiwen didn't have a concrete reason. He might only see Yi Shiwen pleasing to the eye, or Crown Prince Crocodile not pleasing to the eyes. Yao Qian also helped him just because of the unparalleled sword. All of these make Yi Shiwen feel unreal. In this world, perhaps it was not as simple as what he thought. Some people would do things without reason. At the same time, killing him didn't need a reason at all. Maybe they also had their own rules, but he was not within the bounds of those rules. This feeling made him uncomfortable and uneasy. At the center of the universe, the ancient Baron's continent was beyond him. With only a slight presence, many people could kill as they wish without considering the consequences. Yi Shiwen clenched his fists secretly. He didn't want something like this to happen again. He wanted to become stronger as soon as possible. Initially, in the true martial domain, Yi Shiwen had reached the peak. He was unrivaled. This situation encouraged his slacking attitude, but now he felt a sense of crisis. In this world, there were too many people who could easily kill him without a proper reason. In true martial school, those who deemed Yi Shiwen not pleasing to the eye would still need to find a reason to harm Yi Shiwen due to other seniors' presence in the sect. There was no such leniency here. No reasons were needed. This was a lawless place for the weak. Their deaths were without reason. However, with the Crown Prince Crocodile's sudden move, he became the target of many people's attention, especially some people who also knew the existence of the Wang family. They grew even more curious. How could this half-step transcendent realm expert lead the younger generation masters of the Wang family? Yi Shiwen didn't care about these at this time. This crisis grew more serious. Crown Prince Crocodile might come back at any time. He might face the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's pursuit at any moment. If it was just the pursuit of transcendent realm masters, Yi Shiwen didn't care even if it was top experts like Crown Prince Crocodile. He had a way to get away safely. However, if the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan had masters who surpassed transcendent realm taking actions, Yi Shiwen would be in danger. This is troublesome. Even though the probability of Yi Xiangtian alarming their seniors is minute, it is still a possible scenario. Sir, Our Lady has prepared a private room for you. When Yi Shiwen was about to sit down at the public's place, a waiter stepped forward and said. Yi Shiwen was a little surprised. Generally speaking, the private rooms of these auctions must be booked in advance. The Wang family could reserve them, but it needed to be in advance. Having a private room in this unexpected auction, to a large extent, depended on one's connections. Yi Shiwen didn't shirk away. He immediately took the Wang family and followed this waiter into a private room. In the spacious private room, it was well lit. A completely different setting from the noisy environment below, which was somewhat elegant and noble. Everyone quieted down and waited quietly for the auction to begin. Yi Shiwen also sat cross-legged and entered the state of cultivation. Everyone in the Wang family seemed grateful for Yi Shiwen. Although they didn't understand why Yi Shiwen was strong, even if he was just a half-step transcendent realm, they seemed to figure out something after witnessing his mannerism. Even if you are a genius, you have to work harder than others to get the results you want. Especially Wang Feiyun, who was convinced at this time. Initially, he was only convinced by Yi Ziwen's strength, but now he had full respect for Yi Shiwen. He knew he had no way to cultivate like Yi Shiwen. It seemed like a monk life. Yi Shiwen immersed his heart and soul into Tianyuan Mirror. In that bloody world, Yi Mo sat on a high platform, like the world's deity. The dragon vein and emergence, immortal exterminating saber, were situated in the distance. They were all firmly locked by the spiritual chains and couldn't move at all. When can I conquer the emergence, immortal exterminating sabers? Yi Shiwen asked. If I face the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan in the future, then it is likely that I need to use the emergence, immortal exterminating saber again. Yi Shiwen knew very well that there was a big gap between him and the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. If necessary, he had to wield the emergence, immortal exterminating saber. It's still far away. There is no way to tame it unless you are stronger or the weapon is sealed. With that, it can only serve as a general divine weapon. Yi Mo replied. Yi Shiwen had a slight headache. There was no way around it. In any case, improving his strength and entering the transcendent realm was the only way. Almost half an hour later, this abrupt auction began, amidst the expectations of everyone. Dang! The gong's sound echoed the entire auction. The initial noisy venue quieted down. Soon, Yao Qian stepped lightly into the center and immediately became the focus of everyone's attention. Is Muse Yao hosting this auction? That's great. It will be a feast for our eyes. Yes, over the years, as Muse Yao's position in the Chamber of Commerce became higher and higher, the auctions she presided over have also decreased, which is a shame. It can also be seen that Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce attaches great importance to this auction. In other words, Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce attaches great importance to the opening of Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion this time. Have you seen the conflict at the door just now? Yao Muse is brave and heroic. If you can marry her, you're blessed in this life. How could it be possible to marry her? Didn't everyone say that she likes the unparalleled sword? How can you be compared with the unparalleled sword? He is almost unrivaled among the younger generation of experts in the entire Flourish Cloud Sea region. Merely 5 people have chances against him. Even many masters of the older generation are respectful towards him. Although the venue became quiet, there were many whispers. Today, I am glad that everyone can join us in this abrupt auction. Regarding the content of this auction, everyone should already hear something about it. Without further ado, let's start. Yao Qian took a casual approach without too much lengthy content, knowing what everyone wanted. She just went straight to the point and went for the main theme. The first item to be auctioned is a saber technique. Following Yao Qian's words, the waiter brought up a tray with a red brocade covering it and placed it on the table. Yao Qian took away the red brocade. A fiery red jade slip was in plain sight. No one knew what the jade quality was. Many people sense an active fire chi looming around the jade. This saber technique is a slightly incomplete advanced human-level saber technique named Wood-Burning Saber Technique. It was discovered near Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion. Although it is a bit incomplete, our Chamber of Commerce experts have appraised it. Even if it is incomplete, it is standing at the intermediate human level now. At the end of cultivating the technique, one can rain hell on earth. Yao Qian spoke plainly. There was no overly sensational description. It was in the intermediate human level during its complete state and advanced human level in its final form. This was enough to attract the attention of countless people. As a matter of fact, many experts who had surpassed the transcendent realm were still using the martial techniques of elite human level. For ordinary people, the advanced human level martial technique was enough to be the garrison martial technique of a force. If this were a complete advanced human level martial technique, the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce would be tempted to acquire it, let alone put it out for auction. This would be merely impossible. Unexpectedly, the first item turned out to be an intermediate human level martial technique. This time, the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce put up an exceptional prize. It's not so much about the sunny bamboo chamber of commerce putting up an exceptional prize. It's more accurate to say that they are trying to deal with the fruitful harvest from the Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion opening. Many people got excited just hearing Yao Qian's introduction. Since it is only an incomplete martial technique, the starting price of this wood burning saber technique is only 5 million spirit crystals. Now, let the bidding start. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.